Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Friends, foes, subbies. I'm going to wait for people to come into the room. You guys, this is going to be my first Testimony Tuesday. I tried to do Testimony Tuesday a couple of weeks ago, but it turned out to be a complete failure. Hopefully today, and I pray to God that today is a beautiful build and you guys can take something from this story, this testimony, and you could possibly share your story as well and to give some wonderful advice and positive vibes. That's my goal for today. So the first Testimony Tuesday didn't go well. We're going to try again. Pretty little butterfly, thank you for being here. Josephine Edmonds, Aries Black, Nikwa, thank you for being here. I need you here, Nikwa. I need you here. Boo Gang, Natural Yin, thank you all for being here. So what I'm going to do is for the first couple of minutes, I'm just going to explain to you what the point and purpose of this live is. And I'm going to introduce you to the beautiful women that decided to partake into this Testimony Tuesday. Okay. You guys are not going to leave here without being inspired. And that is one thing I can promise you. You're not going to leave here tonight without being inspired. I love you. I am that somebody. How are you, sister girl? Reed, thank you for being here. One Love, thank you for being here. Sharon Murphy, D Girl One, Take Me As I Am, Stephanie Jackson, Rena, Charlize, Super, Steph and Stuff. Oh, hey girl. Shalene, that girl Shay Shay. Thank you all for being here. You guys, when I tell you, I feel like this live was supposed to happen. I always wanted to share testimonies with you guys, but most of the time people are more interested in drama and mess, whatever's going on in social media, whatnot. So what I did was I would make my videos. Hey, Supreme Goddess, thank you so much for being here, sister love. Most of the time I'm just like, talking about narcissism or pointing out flaws in other people, knowing that I have flaws myself, and we got to be real here. We have to take a step back from pointing the finger at other people. And sometimes we need to take accountability for our own things, and we need to be positive and spread positive vibes. So tonight, the live is basically to inspire those of you who probably think your life is terrible. You probably think you're going through so much. Little do you know there's other people that go through more than you do on a daily basis. But you don't know that because you're not checking for it. So tonight we're going to figure out. Let me look at my baby because he's digging his head in the pillow. Okay, so tonight we're basically going to hear a story of a beautiful young lady who unfortunately ended up in a situation that caused her to be disabled. But guess what? She still has this vibrancy about her. She's still like positive to the point where it's like I look at myself like, oh my gosh, how are you just sleeping your life away and feeling like your life is over when there's other people that go through worse than you that are here to live life to the fullest? Like, come on. So again, like I said, I'm going to first introduce you to the beautiful woman that introduced me to the young lady that we're going to be talking to today. Jasmine, thank you so much for being here. Alan, thank you. The Brown Eyes, Take Me As I Am. And again, like I said, it's really sad. It saddens me that I can go live and post something about negative content and I will receive so many messages or people in my DMs about the drama, and I'll get extra views. But when it comes to positivity, you don't really get that many people. It's fine. For the people that are supposed to be here today, you're supposed to be here. And I thank you for being here. Thank you, Audrey. I appreciate you. So, like I said, I'm going to introduce you to the person that I came across throughout this whole The Truth saga. within the comment section, she told me about her story. And from that day, I was like connected to her. And I don't know what it is. She would message me on the DMs, and sometimes it would take me weeks to respond back. And she would always like reassure me, don't worry, I'm not here she'll be like, I'm not here to hurt you. Hey, Amir wanted to make his presence, y'all. Amir wanted to make his presence. Hey, baby. How did this fall? I don't know. But Amir wanted to make his presence. Hey, baby, we here. Honey buns. My baby wanted to make his presence. He's like, you're blocking my photo. Poppy, turn your head. You guys, in a second, because he's literally digging his head in the pillow. But before I get into that, before I get Amir out the pillow, digging his head in the pillow, I wish I could turn the camera around on him so you guys could see what he's doing. But he looks like he's having a good time playing, so I'm going to let him play. My voice seems like it wants to go out, but Satan, not today. Not today, Satan. Hey, Tamik. All right, so basically, this beautiful woman has messaged me and told me, don't worry, I'm not here to hurt you. I God told me this and I feel connected to you. And I would kind of like not really necessarily push her away, but I was always nervous to connect with certain people because I don't know who's real or who's not. And when I tell you, this woman is beyond real. She has stuck by me through thick and thin throughout all this drama that I've gone through online, and she's never stepped away from me. And I thank her so much. So I would love to introduce you to Tina's testimony. I know you guys hear me talk about Tina's testimony. Tina. I love this woman so much. And as I introduce Tina, I want you guys to meet Shawnee. Shawnee is Tina's goddaughter. Shawnee is a young lady that will be sharing her testimony with you all tonight. And when I tell you, if you have daughters, you're going to want to sit here and listen. You're going to want to listen because this could happen to any one of us. And I'm looking at the chat right now. So if I'm not looking at the screen, just understand that's why. So welcoming Tina and Shawnee. I'm so grateful for you guys to be here. Okay. Hi. Hold on. I got you. I have Shawnee and I have Tina's testimony. Hey, Shawnee. Hey, Tina's testimony.
Hi.
Everybody.
Tina, I just want you to tell everybody real quick how you came across this channel and how you decided that you were going to share this story with me, because had you not shared it with me, I would have never been able to do this Testimony Tuesday.
So I've been watching you for a long time. You already know that. We talked. I've been watching you forever, and I'm just the type of person that listens like to instructions. I listen to. I've had a lot happen in my life, so my faith is I can't even explain how strong my faith is. So God led me to Sweet Ma, and Shawnee and I were going to do this story a long time, share her testimony a long time ago, but it just wasn't the right time. So once I got to know Sweet Ma more and more, and I hope I'm looking at the camera, y'all, because I'm not sure what I'm doing.
You are, sis.
I am. Okay, I apologize. I'm not looking at the camera, but my eyes are probably all over the place. But yeah, so I presented the story to Sweet Ma because Shawnee means so much to me, and she's such an amazing woman, and she actually has, through my own experiences that I've gone through and that I'm still experiencing today, she's given me so much strength and so much reason to fight. So I thought of nobody better than Sweet Ma to present this beautiful testimony. It starts off rough, but I mean, Shawnee is she's a fighter. She's like a superhero to me. So I want you guys to just hear her story out. Just understand she was 18 at the time when this, incident happened. Now Shawnee is 22. So throughout these years, she has just grown so much. And you guys will fall in love with her just like, I mean, you guys will see what I'm saying. But thank you all for tuning in and even taking your time out to hear my god baby story, because she means everything to us. So thank you guys.
That means a lot to me. And you guys, do you not know this? I talk about Tina's testimony all the time. Since Amir wants to be seen, I'm just gonna put the pictures there, okay? Um, Tina's testimony is a cancer survivor. So if there's anybody that's in here watching that is going through the cancer scare, going through chemotherapy, you're you're probably, worried and thinking that this is it for you. I'm gonna tell you right now, she is a testimony. How many times have you had cancer and you beat it?
I've had cancer twice, but I have a rare condition called Fanconi syndrome that I was born with, and we'll get into that on another testimony day. But yeah, I have one kidney left. My remaining kidney is stage 4. So I have a rare genetic condition that I'm suffering with now. So I'll eventually need a transplant. But we can talk about that later. But yeah, I've
Oh
been through
yeah,
some stuff. I struggle every day. So, but I'm blessed. I'm here. So
you are so blessed. You are beyond blessed.
thank you.
Um, and I thank you again for being here. I thank you again for sharing your story. When we do Testimony Tuesday again, if we don't do a part 2 of Shawnee's story, because I want to leave it up to Shawnee, because I want Shawnee to be comfortable here. I want her to feel welcome here. I want her to feel loved here, because there's nothing but love. When I talked to Shawnee yesterday, I kind of got a little emotional, and it scared me because I was like, I'm probably going to not be able to do this live without, bawling out crying.
Yeah, it's
But
yeah,
yeah, it's hard. But she's so positive that it makes you not want to cry for her. Like, why am I going to cry for her? She's so positive. She's such a beautiful person. And when I tell you, y'all need to see her daughter is her twin. It's scary. And so is her mom. Her mom is beautiful too. I just saw her mom on the camera behind the scenes. Um, but again, we're going to talk about Tina's testimony on hopefully, Tina, if you're okay with it, we can do a
oh,
testimony on your diagnosis and what you went through. And for whoever's in here that's battling cancer or you're afraid of a cancer scare, you might have family members. Just know that this woman right here survived it twice. She is a testimony, and she's going through something right now where she does need a kidney, but she'll get it in due
yeah,
time. Now, I would love to welcome Shawnee. Shawnee, I don't
sure.
know how much to thank you. Like, you don't
Hi.
understand how much this means to me that you decided to come up here to talk to me. Like, I did not expect your story to be this deep. When I initially had a conversation with you yesterday and you told me what led you to be in this condition, I didn't know that. I didn't know what it was.
Mhm.
So, I want you to share with everybody who you are, introduce yourself, and you can speak up until you became a teen mom, and then we can go straight to your story.
Hmm.
So when I was about 17, I met my daughter's father. We fell in love. We wanted a kid. Um, and I ended up getting pregnant. He wasn't in the picture like that because he ended up getting incarcerated. Um, so I ended up being a single parent. And I still was going to high school as a single parent. Um, but I still was having like complications like at home. So I went and I stayed with a friend and stuff like that. And she she introduced me to like, I guess basically like the life, like not introduced me like that, but she was in that life and I didn't know. Um so she made it seem like it was easy. So when I met this guy like months, I mean, maybe like a couple weeks, 3 weeks later, um, I wanted to know, basically, you know, about him and what he did. My mom's here because I was always telling my mom, like asking her questions because I didn't know certain things about certain lifestyles and people. So she always would like tell me to like watch my back. This girl, my mom, she didn't like the girl
at all.
And you hear her mom in the background. She said, "At all."
because my mom,
Moms always know best.
Mm-hmm.
because she would like she started to see a change in me. From when I before I was hanging out with her and then after. Um, so my dad, I don't know if he wanted control, but years later, my daughter's father would tell me that I wanted to hurt you, so I hit up your dad and told him to take your daughter from you. So that happened, and basically that's what my dad tried to do. So I had a place to go, but me and my friend ended up getting into it to the point I had to go and stay with my dad. When I came back there, um, he said in order for me to live there, basically have a roof over my head, that I was gonna have to give up my rights as you know for my daughter, and I didn't want to do that. Um, and so I knew this guy, and I just didn't listen to my parents because this guy that ended up putting me out there was the same guy who gave me a concussion days prior. Um, but I felt like I had nowhere to go. Like if I knew there was resources and things like that, I would never turn to him. I would never turn to that life.
Can I before you continue, can I just ask you, when you were the single mom, what led you to go to him? Like, were you feeling
I had nowhere to go, and I needed financial support for my daughter. And he told me that he would be able to help me support my daughter. And he, and then he told me that I could take my daughter with me, with him. Like you know, when I left that day, he said you can. And it's like, no, I don't. I'm not taking my daughter. And I never allowed him to see what my daughter looked like.
where exactly did you meet him?
Me and my friend, we were leaving the club, and he seen us crossing the street, and he made a U-turn to basically to talk to us because we were crossing the stoplight. I didn't see him make a U-turn, but my friend did. She was always into guys with money, cars. That's what she noticed. I would never notice a car got like none of that. So she's seen them make a U-turn. I didn't. So when we're walking back to her car, that's when he stops up on stops on the side of us. Um, and yeah, we end up. He provided ecstasy, which is the MTA, mom.
Can I say one thing? Do you know how much she wasn't into guys? Before that Ace guy pulled up, Trey Songz, the singer, pulled up on Shawnee and tried to talk to her, and she didn't talk to him. That's
Wow.
how much she didn't care about money.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
A celebrity came up to you and you didn't pay him any.
Yeah, I met a bunch of celebrities, and it was how people act all like, I don't know why they act fools, but it was just nothing to me. Like I was never materialistic. I was none of that. When I met her and was living with her, she introduced me to different things that I didn't know. Like, don't talk to black guys, talk to foreign guys, ones with nice cars, make sure they have money, different things like that. So she gave an okay. Yeah.
She was trying to introduce you to that lifestyle. Is that who you're talking about? Is that what you're?
I think she was trying to because she had a pimp and she was a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we became, because I knew this girl from middle school. I met her back in middle school, but she moved. And then I caught back up with her. I met her at like an after party. And I was with another friend, but my friend was not meeting the requirements of light skinned and petite. So she wasn't interested in, my friend, but she was interested in me. But she had a car and she was always, we were always going places. And, when you're young, you like to go out and go places and hang out and things like that. So I think like that's what really like, what got me involved in everything, because of a lifestyle she introduced me to, but I barely like knew anything about.
Well, didn't she start out trying to have you dance at bachelor parties and
She had
stuff
me
with
do
her?
it. Yeah,
And I told you no, that's only the beginning. But
okay,
no.
So she did introduce me to the bachelor party. I did a bachelor party, but I kept my clothes on. I would refuse to take my clothes off, and went she went butt naked to dancing and stuff like that. And the guys they were not interested in her. They were more interested in me, who I had my skimpy stuff on, but I was covered up. And she was jealous of me. So the money that I pocketed, she pocketed a majority of that money. She's like, oh, I introduced you to these people, so I get a percentage. So I didn't I didn't know she was trying to pick me out then, because I'm thinking she's my friend, you know. So you never think your friends are kind of grooming you a little bit
So
into this life.
did she know the guy that you're gonna lead up to before, or you
She
guys met
say
at the same?
she say she didn't know him, but when I asked him if he was a pimp, she knew he was. But he told me he wasn't. But she knew but he was never interested in her.
He was interested in you.
Mm-hmm.
So he pulls up to the club. He does a turnaround when he sees you. And what does
Yes.
he say to you?
I'm looking at him because I'm looking at his watch and I'm looking at his, to make sure he's not a pimp. And then I see the diamond ring on his pinky, and I'm like, "Are you a pimp?" And he's like, "Are you a cop?" When I asked him that, and I'm like, "No." So we end up going with him that night. I guess he wanted to see if we were cops or trying to and whatnot. But he would get us drunk and provide the ecstasy, but he would never get drunk or do any drugs. But he would get the girls. He would get us under the influence. So me and my friend, we messed around with him, and it wasn't really that long until because he was grooming me, or he was trying to groom my friend, but my friend she wasn't, she was already making her money. She was already doing stuff, meeting different guys and things like that. So he wasn't interested in her. He was interested in someone who was basically fresh meat, who didn't know anything about the money, who didn't know how, nothing. And I was clueless about that life. You see it on movies, you hear it, but you never know that you would encounter, because when they give a description of what a pimp supposed to look like, and he gave all the descriptions of what a pimp is supposed to look like. But he told me he was in the music industry, so I didn't question after that, because you can be in the music industry, and still have a nice car, customized BMW and diamond rings, a condo on the beach, so he can be in, to that lifestyle. Um, but he was the only guy I would mess with. I did not mess with anybody. But my friend, she still was doing her stuff on the side, making her money. So we went with him. She would always have me call him because she wanted to go out, or she wanted free ecstasy or free liquor, so she would always have me call him. And then, we would hang out. And there was one night that I got super drunk, and this is when I was going through the postpartum depression.
Mm-hmm.
Because I still was going I still was getting over the breakup that my daughter's father, he had broken up with me. So I still was, trying to get over that, and I was drinking more than usual. So this night, I drank more than what I normally would. But I do remember bits and pieces. The guy's cousin, tried to go in there and do something with me, but I refused because I don't know you, and I deal with your cousin, so I'm not going to do anything with you. Um, so then also remember like my friend sitting on the side of the bed and whispering something into the guy's ear. Whispering to the guy's ear, and next thing you know, it's just everything is just blank. But I remember waking up with the rug burns on my arms and legs. My lip ring was broken. I had this really bad headache. It didn't feel like a hangover, but I've never really had a bad hangover, so I didn't know, but I was sick to my stomach. Um, and when he dropped us off, he didn't say anything, but I know that he had took the sheets and everything off his bed. When I woke up, there was no sheets or anything on his bed, and I remember going home and resting,
So the
not knowing.
so people understand the pimp guy, he assaulted you, right? Is that why you woke up like that? Did he do
That's
something to
what
you?
I honestly don't know all the details, but that's like what my mom, because I called my mom and I told her, what happened, how I don't remember anything from the night before, and um and I told her that I was drinking, and I told her about my rug burns on my arms and my legs and the sickness in my stomach. She said that you have a concussion and to go to the ER. So that's what they did. They said I did have a concussion.
Because I was trying to get her to tell me where she was so I can come get her and have something done to him, quite honestly. And she kept telling me she didn't know how to tell me to get to where she was. Because you already know me since I was coming.
Yeah.
So
Protect.
yeah, um so when I was in the ER, I overheard my friend saying that she needed to be tested for chlamydia. So this is what I overheard her saying. When they tested me, I didn't have anything. So when I asked the guy, why he did what he did, he said because your friend said you had chlamydia and that's why you didn't want to do anything. So that's why he hit me, and I, could have lost my life that night, with a concussion.
Because your friend said that you had chlamydia.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom was right about that friend the entire time. To all the
Mhm.
parents out here that are listening to this live right now, whenever you see your child friends with someone and you feel that gut feeling inside of you, you're not wrong. Her mother did never like, if you guys tuned in from when we started the live, her mom stated soon as she saw that girl, she did not like that girl. Her mom was right about that girl. So that girl said that you had chlamydia to that guy, and that's why you probably ended up getting the concussion, right?
Yes.
Mhm. Mhm.
Go
Mhm.
ahead. I'm sorry.
So that night I went, to my dad's, and I remember my mom and dad was pleading with me not to leave, but I wanted to confront him, because I knew what he did to me, and I just was so upset about it. Um, so they didn't know I was going to confront him. And so I didn't tell them like, okay, I'm going to confront him, because then they would have, got involved, and I didn't want them to get involved. It's something that I wanted to um, handle. So I did end up going back that night with him. And when I confronted him, he basically kicked me out. And that's when I remember I called my mom, and she didn't pick up. So the I was on her voicemail, and he comes out and he takes my phone and throws it. And so when I get into the car, my friend's like, you need to stop acting up, or and be quiet before he shoots you. Um So I remember like jumping, getting out of his car, going into I went behind the corner and I hid behind bushes because I was so scared. And then when I had came to again, I was, in his car, and he was taking us home. So he didn't do anything to me, but I guess everything still was fresh to the point where I still was having blackouts and not remembering certain things. But I didn't see him like after that. So when I went and visit my friend for a couple of days, I came back and this girl, the girl I was living with, she had stolen all my clothes, down to my makeup, down to everything, and went to Vegas. So she stole everything from me and left me with nothing. And so I went to go stay with my friend, and then me and that friend, we end up getting into it. She pulled a knife, and so I left. So I go home, and my dad, he's already upset with me and things like that. So I go home, and my dad says, okay, in order for you to stay here, you have to give up your rights as a parent.
Real quick, and I'm sorry to cut you off because I want people to follow the story. While you were having fun with your friend, what made you stay away from your baby, like being a new mom? Like, was it because you were going through postpartum?
It was every time when I tried to go, and it was always problems. So it was just like chaos. It was drama.
Every time she tried to go home and take care of her baby, her dad's grandmother would say, I got it, Shawnee. So when she would try to come to my house, and I'd be like, when she got up there, I'd say, okay, Shawnee, this is my grandbaby. This is your baby. I'm going to show you how to take care of her. So when she came up there, I'm trying to teach her how to be a mom.
Mm-hmm.
So what her dad would do is get peed off because of our history of me not wanting to be with him anymore. And he would call children's services on her and say, oh, you got to hurry up and bring the baby back. Hold on, baby. So that is, hold on, baby. Just one, I'm not going to get into the whole thing. So that is why she would stay gone, because they wouldn't want her to be a mother. They would always try to take over, and it would be drama.
So she decided to just have fun and go out with her friends.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
And this led up to what you were saying about, needing the money, and that's kind of where you go with so you can get into that too, right? About how you did what you did for those 3 days.
And real quick, how much older was this guy that you met at the club? And I'm kind of curious, for you to be 18, how were you able to go to the club and drink? Did you have fake IDs?
You can go to the club, but sometimes people will buy you drinks. Like if you meet someone over 21, then they will get you drinks.
Even if you're underage?
Yes.
So you were saying, you're asking how she even got in the club, right? How did she get in
18?
Well, yeah, in California, clubs is 18 and older. You just can't drink, buy alcohol. Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I never knew that. So thank you for sharing that, because over here you can't get into the club at age 18. So I was wondering whether you had a fake ID or not. And I guess that night you went to the club. This guy, the fact that Trey Songz tried to holler at you and you didn't even care speaks volumes. Because, I mean, girl, if I had the opportunity to talk to Trey back then, I probably would have. So this clearly speaks volumes. Like your mom said, you were not into men so much so for you to end up in the situation that you were in. That's why I want people to understand that this could happen to any one of you or your children, your nieces, your cousins, whatever it is, your friends' children. So please listen, because this young lady was a new mom, wasn't into men like that. She wasn't loose, anything like that.
18.
Exactly.
And the reason why I even spoke up about how they didn't let her be a mom, because I know some of the viewers are probably wondering, like, where was her mom when all this was going on? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If I was listening, I would wonder that. but I wasn't allowed the opportunity because he made it hard and made it harder on her, especially since she looked just like me when I was her age. So that's why I wasn't there like as much as I tried to be, because it would be harder on her with her baby. He'd get the children's services and all other type of way out stuff.
Exactly. And I am that somebody says all it takes is one bad influence, and her mom felt it in that one friend. That one friend. Okay, I'm sorry.
I remember. No, this is good though, because I remember being 18 and doing some of the most foolish stuff. I look back now at 52, and I'm like, what was I doing? Yeah, so it's like when you look at Shawnee's testimony, it's like, okay, well, how much foolish things did we do at that age? So it's like
me and you were always together, so you already know we did some crazy stuff.
So yeah, that's a whole nother show, but but I'm sure most women can relate to that at that age, just wanting to rebel, not want to listen. My mom told me so many times, oh, he's not right, or she whatever, and I didn't listen. It's like the opposite of what you're told, so
yeah,
kind of how it works. At least it did for me, and my kids.
Shawnee, I'm so sorry that, it's like I want to ask you questions as we go, mainly because I want the audience to understand, because not a lot of us know that an 18-year-old could go to the club and, people buy them drinks and stuff like that. Well, at least I didn't know. So I just, if I cut you off every once in a while, it's only so that we could have the audience understand. And if you guys, please, if you feel it in your heart to send a blessing to this beautiful young lady, Shawnee, I put her, I pinned it actually, the Cash App. I would really be grateful if you guys could show her some love, because she didn't have to share her story with me at all. And I'm actually honored that she decided to. Like, you guys don't understand. Like yesterday, when she was talking to me, I broke down and I started crying, and I was like, I don't know if I could do this, because once I saw her daughter, I couldn't take it anymore, because her daughter is the spitting image of her. And now that I see her mom, it's even crazier, because her mom looks exactly like her. I'm telling you, listen, y'all gonna see. But yeah, Shawnee, I'm sorry that I interrupted you. I just wanted to make clear before we continued on with your story. I think I asked you how much older this guy was, but I don't know.
Maybe late 20s, early 30s. He's been in the life for a while. So I believe, yeah.
I think they said he was 29 when the police was investigating.
Wait, which guy are we speaking of? So nobody gets
the pimp.
Okay. Oh, so they were investigating him too.
So she was 18. The pimp was 29. Did the pimp ever tell you he loved you? He wanted to be with you? Like,
no, he never said he loved me or wanted to be with me.
So can you tell the people what led you to go to him for help? Did you feel safe with him?
Yeah, like, and then plus my friend, she was involved in a life, so she would make it seem like it was nothing, like it was easy. So when he had, said this is what I would be doing, I'm like, okay, like it will be easy. But it wasn't what it, like, how he made it seem, basically. Because when he first picked me up that day, he put me out. I guess that night he put me out there that night. But my first night, I ended up getting raped. The guy, he had told me that he was glad he didn't kill me. And then the pimp guy, he came, and picked me up, to take me back to the room to get cleaned up to put me back out there.
In the rain.
And was this your first day?
Yes.
Wow. Your first day turned out to be like that. How can I ask you, what exactly did he say to convince you to even decide to go into the route of prostitution? Like what because I want other people to know that this could happen to their children too. Like
He
what
said he can give me a place, a car, basically things that are so hard to get at a, at a certain age. Or so he said he would get me a place for my daughter, and then a car, and then he had introduced me to a girl. He had took me, he had got her apartment, and he furnished it and everything else. So he showed what he said he can do. He showed it to me from one of his girls he had working with him. So he would get them cars so they can go and make their, be by themselves to make the money for him. So he didn't have to drive them around. But you had to be his girl for like a certain amount of time in order, to get something like that.
Okay. And that you were like, I'm 18 years old. If I could get all this and all I got to do is this, I'm going to do it. So the first night turned out to be a disaster. What happened next?
So then it was the second night. The same thing happened to me, but this time that he said he was going to do something, and when I got in his car, he had no handles. So if I wanted to jump out or anything, he had no like handles or anything. But he made me. I never seen a gun, but you never, if someone says they're gonna shoot you, you believe that they have a gun. So I did everything like he asked, and this is the second night.
This is the second night, second trick, second guy that picked you up.
It was second trick who raped me, but there was tricks before that, but I never had no problems from them.
But guys, remember this was within a 3-day span that all this happened within 3 days. From the first night she went out to the second to the third is when the incident that we're going to lead up to happened. So it wasn't like she was.
The second time, did you find this guy on the street? Did somebody put you together with him?
You find him on the street. They put you out there on, the street is Figueroa. And there's a lot of girls lined up on the street. So basically you're walking the street and then they come up to you in their car. You tell them how much everything is.
How much did you ask him for when you got in the car?
Well, the pimp said, for both, which would be physical and oral, is $80. And then for, I believe the physical was $50, and then for oral it was about $30-$40. So most of the time they would want both, and that would be $80. And when the guy had raped me, this is the second night, he didn't give me anything. He didn't even rob me, but he just dropped me off in a sketchy neighborhood that freaked me out. And this when I knew like I did not want to, this life wasn't for me. He made everything seem, and me almost losing my life or could have lost my life, it wasn't what it seemed. And my mom was, this is when I called my mom and I told her like, I need you to come get me. And I was going to go into hiding. I was going to get my daughter and just go into hiding until everything died down. So the third day, I had a feeling something bad was going to happen to me. I told my mom, like, something's going to happen. I just don't know when, but I felt it.
You guys, I got to cut her off real quick. And I want you guys to pay attention to what she's saying. She said the third day she felt something was going to happen. She told her mother she feels something is going to happen. That's all. I just want to make that clear for you guys that are listening right now. You have to trust your intuition, period.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, beautiful. Sorry about that.
So that night, that was gonna be my last night. My mom was gonna come get me, everything. But that night, that's when I had met the guy who ends up shooting me. And so he had a crucifix around his neck, and he had a crucifix around his rearview mirror, and he didn't look threatening at all.
Mm-hmm.
So when he picks me up, we go to the gas station to purchase condoms, and then we get out. I mean, we drive out, and we end up parking behind the freeway. And we he paid me for two times, well, the double, which was 80. And then I got dressed, and as I was getting dressed, I looked back, and there was a gun in my face. So there was a gun in my face, and that's when he basically told me to get undressed again, and he ended up sexually assaulting me unprotectedly at gunpoint. And then he made me get on my knees unprotectedly at gunpoint. Um, then he said I can get dressed. Then he asked for all my money, and I gave him my money. And as I was getting out, I didn't turn my head right away because he still had the gun, so I wasn't trusting him. And then that's when he shot me. He put the barrel against my neck and he shot me. And I blew backwards instead of forward. And I remember that I tried to get up and I couldn't. So I knew I was paralyzed. Um and then I was telling him, don't let me die. I have a daughter. He said he wasn't gonna let me die. He was gonna take me to St. Francis Hospital. But I kept trying to get up, and that he had threw the carpet of the passenger seat. He had put it on top of me to weigh me down. So when he did that, I'm thinking, he's gonna basically take me to the hospital because he didn't shoot me again. But then I lay there and I see these lights, and I'm thinking, okay, he's just gonna, just dump me and drive off. It was a vacant lot, and he ends up basically shooting me again. Like, he put the gun in my mouth and shot me. And I just remember laying there, and I'm talking to myself like he just shot me in my head because it was spinning, it was quiet, I didn't hear anything. But when everything started coming to, I realized that he shot me in my mouth. And the bullet, at the time, I didn't know the bullet had exit, you know, but he ended up shooting me again in my mouth, and I remember laying there spitting out my broken teeth and blood. And so I'm laying there still spitting, out the blood and my broken teeth. So I'm watching him. I look up kind of, and I see him taking different items from my purse and throwing it out the window. The different items in my purse as he's driving, just throwing out the window. And he could still hear me breathing and still hear me spitting out my blood. And so he stops the van again, but this time he puts a bag over my face. And I'm still laying there. Even after he puts the bag on my face, he starts to drive, but he hears me spitting out my broken teeth and blood. He still hears me spitting out that. He still hears me breathing through the bag. So he makes a comment. He gets mad and says, "Putai, won't you die? Putai, won't you die?" So I knew his intentions was to kill me when he had made that comment. So then he ends up stopping his van again. He drugged me and put me upside down on my head with my back against the back of the passenger seat, and he brought the seatbelt around my neck, I guess trying to strangle me. Um and you feel when you're about to die, like when you're about to die. And so I got the feeling of I was about to die, like I could feel myself slipping away. And I knew the life that I was living was not, it was not godly, it was not accepting of him. And I remember just asking God for forgiveness, preparing myself to see him. And I remember closing my eyes like after that. And then I end up waking up again. But at this time I wake up in the process of him dragging my body out. I knew it was like of him dragging me because my head was dangling. I still had the bag over my face, but it was so bloody that you couldn't see my eyes. Um, so I remember like also seeing a shadow and feeling a presence. And I remember closing my eyes really fast because by then I was scared. And then I ended up waking up again, and I believe I was in an alleyway because I could hear the dogs like on the side of me, and then I could hear above me a party. And I remember it was like windy that night, so I remember laying there and wiggling the bag off of my face. And the wind helped me because I was able to get that bag off. And I remember laying there like in and out, just in and out, saying help me. And so about maybe between 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning, the guy told his dogs to shut up. And when he was telling them to shut up, he heard me. And that's when he found me. He found me, and he thought I was his niece, and he was just, he just couldn't understand like how could someone do something basically so bad to someone so young and beautiful. And when the cops arrived, before I came and get into paramedics, they had to process the crime scene. But when I did get into paramedics, they said that I told them, don't let me die, I have a daughter. And then I end up flatlining. They end up, as I'm coming in, they had brought me back. But before they can do any kind of surgery on me, they had to vacuum dirt and ants off of me. And
So you were laying, excuse me. So you were laying there that long enough for you to have ants crawling all over your body?
yes, and dirt.
Oh.
And so they end up doing surgery. I woke up from the surgery, and my dad and uncle was there. And, they said, Shawnee, and they smiled at me. They said I smiled back at them. And then that's when I flatlined right in front of my dad and uncle. And then that's when they said that my body had experienced too much trauma and that I was not going to wake up from my life support. But days later, I started to breathe with the machine and start waking up. But as I was waking up, all I saw was light. And I was in a fetal position stretching out as I was waking up. And when I finally opened my eyes, my legs were straight. So that kind of always amazed me a little bit, how I woke up in light in a fetal position like I was being reborn again in some kind of way. Because God did give me a second chance.
You asked for it. You asked for it.
Yeah, I asked him for. It wasn't like I was asking for like to live, but it basically was preparing myself to see him. And I believe he gave me a second chance because I do have, I had a purpose. It was my daughter. But before I flatlined or passed out, I would always say, please don't let me die. I have a daughter. So I did end up, fighting for her. She's the reason that I still fight to this day. And things like that. She's 14 now, so she's a teenager, a little bit attitude, but she still listens to me. And I tell her, how I fight for her and continue to fight for her and stuff. You guys could have met, she's sick right now, but next time you guys get to meet her. But yeah, so I just know that he gave me guardian angels. They were with me in that alley, and I didn't know until I spoke to a woman who had the gift of prophecy, and she told me when God gave me a second chance, he gave me angels to stay with me in the alley until basically help came.
Shawnee, how long were you in the alley so everyone's clear? Was it like 5 hours?
It happened about like 10 at night, and they found me 5, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's bleeding. You lost quite a bit of blood too, right?
Yeah, I lost 2 pints of blood. And that slowed down my heart rate, and that's why his name is Felipe. That's why Felipe thought I was dead, because of the amount of blood I had lost.
He put her in an alley that they used to dump trash, and they had just picked up the trash for that week, and they didn't pick it up for another 2 weeks. So he wasn't expecting her to have guardian angels. So he was expecting them to come back to a corpse. He didn't know that he was truly messing with one of God's children, and he had plans for her.
Yes, that's amen.
And he wasn't going to let her die. Because the injury that Shawnee has, she's supposed to have a respirator breathing for her. And they told me that. And I says, no, we're not. Me and her sister both was there praying at her bedside every day. And I says, no, we're not receiving that. And she has a closed trach in her neck, breathing on her own. And the doctors is like, well, how is that? Because her injury, she's not supposed to breathe on her own. I says, because God says different.
That's right. That's right.
So he knew the area to know that they just picked that trash up.
Definitely a miracle.
It's like it kind of leaves you speechless, because it's like he really wanted to get rid. Like when she explained when they were in the car and he was getting rid of her stuff, he was trying to get rid of all the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing to do was to get rid of her.
We was washing blood out of her hair for 2 months. That's how much it had matted into her hair. And we wasn't trying to cut her hair off. We was washing blood and dirt out of her hair for 2 months. And she had ant bites all over her face. You could see the handprint on her, around her nose and mouth. We didn't know what it was until she woke up and told us what happened. And all her marks were explained. She had ligature marks around her neck from the seatbelt.
And then the first time, before he started to hurt her, he raped her a second time, if I remember correctly.
She said he grabbed her by
he robbed her. He paid her, robbed her back of the money that he paid her of, and then raped her unprotectedly.
He robbed me of all the money I made that night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then he raped you unprotectedly, right?
Yes.
She's gonna get into I can't even see the chat. I just see when you're posting comments, sis, but she's gonna get into what happened to the guy that did this to her.
Because I know a lot of people want to know, did she ever receive justice?
Right.
At the end of the day, like her mama said, she is God. Listen, she was protected, because where that man put her body, the trash was supposed to be picked up. He put her away like she was trash.
And
But
he
guys,
kicked leaves over her so they wouldn't see her
It wasn't
too.
leaves, it was trash. It was
No, they said leaves were kicked over you.
let's see, I didn't. News to
I
me.
talked to the police that he had kicked leaves and dirt and debris over her.
Trying to cover her up. So that, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
those dogs, they sensed it barking, which is what caught the attention of the guy who came out.
and I listen, I'm not trying to obviously make you remember back to the way you were feeling in that moment. But when you were in the hospital and you came to and you really realized that you your life was spared, right? The hospital, excuse me, um, obviously your life was spared. When you realized that you no longer had the ability to use your body the way you used to, can you explain to me how you felt in that moment, or were you just
Depressed.
happy to be
I was
alive?
depressed for a very long time.
Hmm.
Because I was active, did a lot of things, and then having to rely, on family to help me with everything, I was depressed.
I know
It's
that.
nothing that it's something you don't accept right away.
Hmm.
It's something you have to, it takes years.
Hmm.
It takes years for you to grow and accept something like that.
Of
So
course.
I was very depressed and didn't want to do nothing.
And she said she also suffers from PTSD when she hears like fireworks around the
Mm.
4th of July and stuff like that. She, it
Wow.
her back. Yeah.
And that's terrible. The fact that, like, hearing fireworks could bring out her PTSD, and um it's almost like I don't even know what to say. I don't.
No.
Um so how long were you in the hospital after this happened?
I recovered fast, and the
Mhm.
reason I have recovered fast is because I had no drugs or alcohol in my system.
Oh, that was something you said to me yesterday that kind of like made me realize you are definitely a blessed individual. I don't know if you mentioned it on the live, but she had already been told by a doctor that she needs to stop drinking because something was going on with her, and the doctor told her you need to stop, and she said she was so fearful that she stopped. Had she not stopped, this girl would not be here today. Can you explain to them what the doctor said to you when you were drinking prior to?
Because I ended up being sexually assaulted with that concussion, and when he said that I blacked out, it could have been worse. So that night, the night I was gonna go and confront that guy, that was gonna be my last. Well, that was my last drink when I went to confront him. Um, but yeah, when he told me, yeah, you're 18, you shouldn't be drinking. Something worse could have happened. You're glad that nothing worse happened than what it did. Me catching an STD or just anything worse than that. So I was able to not, I was gonna make a change. Like I was gonna do a complete, basically a turnaround because it was a wake up call. Um,
Mhm.
but there was so much going on at home that was going to prevent me from making that change, especially me, them trying to take my daughter from me. So the change didn't happen when I guess it wasn't meant to happen. The change wasn't meant to happen right then and then. Like it wasn't my time. Because I don't know, like I didn't want to end up worse, especially when I don't have memory of what happened to me the night before, but I have the marks on my body to kind of explain what happened to me the night before. It scared me. So yeah, I was able to recover fast because of my body being healthy. No drugs in my system, no alcohol in my system. I
Young.
was, yeah.
Hmm.
That makes sense.
Hmm.
Thank God you didn't have any of that in your system. Um, So how long did you stay in the hospital until you got home? And I want
So
to know how like your mom took it, like, you know.
my mom, my mom, my grandma, and my sister, they stayed in their car while I was in the hospital. They lived in her car.
Mhm.
Um,
They wanted to stay close to you.
Yeah, we didn't leave.
and so I was in the ICU for maybe about a month. And then I went to the trauma. And then from trauma, I went to the rehab. And at the rehab, they was able, I guess they put families up. Mom, didn't they put you guys up or something?
Yeah, at the rehab place. But when she was in the hospital, my mom stayed with her, and me and my baby girl came up to the hill and got clothes and stuff to last us. And we just stayed down there in the car and was cleaning up in the, at the bathroom at the hospital because we wouldn't leave her.
But we went to a rehab and they put your families up in a room where they, pay for it. So families could stay with their loved ones as they recover.
She's going to Amir. Okay. She'll be right back. So, do we kind of want to get into what happened to him? Do we want to go into that now? Are you ready to talk about that?
So it was 4 years in since everything happened to me, and by then I just lost hope in them even catching him. So I'm like, they're not gonna catch him, and that's when I forgave him. I ended up forgiving him, and then 2 years later, I received a call from the DA. Well, no, the detective on my case, the SVU. Her name was Sabrina Charlene Johnson. She's SVU detective.
Mm-hmm.
She said that the DA wanted to speak to me. So I didn't know what that meant. She didn't go in details about it. So when I spoke to the DA, I believe a week later, they told me that they had caught the guy. Because DNA he had left on me, his DNA was not in the system. He was not in the system. But when he committed a crime and they arrested him, it was a hit in the system.
So he assaulted another woman years later.
That's how my case became open. Yes, my case, it was a cold case, but then it was open again because of
he
him.
did a robbery at CVS using the same gun that he used to shoot her.
But he had committed a crime against another girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
6 years later.
Yeah, we don't have details on what happened with her.
I just know that it was 15 counts. 15 counts against her.
Wow. And how many against you?
It was 3 because of the statute limitations for some of the stuff they couldn't. Yeah. So but they just wanted to get him for like the most worst. So that's what their whole focus was on. The more worse it is, the more years he can get.
And what was the charges?
For me, it was the attempted murder in first degree, the rape in first degree, and the oral copulation in first degree, and those can be can carry up to life.
Because you said something about your neck where
the mayhem they wanted, because when he shot me, the detectives knew that his intent were to kill me because of where I was shot, because the neck one nearly decapitated me. And I had to wear a brace for like almost 2 months to keep my neck aligned. The second one was meant to blow my brains out, but for some reason I believe that my teeth stopped the pressure, and then the way the gun was angled, because the one that hit me in my mouth, it exited out and shattered my shoulder.
That was the second shot, right?
Yes.
Into the. Okay. So the first one is what did the damage to your spine. right?
Yes.
It darn near severed her spinal cord. They said it was hanging just by a thread.
Wow.
And we're not sure if the gun did it or him, because he tried to twist her neck when she was in the seat. He twisted her body, and he did. And when he drug her out the van, her head hit the thing when he drug her. So all that shook it and tore it even more. But he could have nearly decapitated her doing everything he did.
And she's still here. Not all.
Because God said, no,
Mhm.
you don't make that call.
We can't hear you. Sis. We can't
You
hear
can't
you.
hear her.
So sorry. Well, I stepped away and I was I had to set up my son's feed. I was listening, and Shawnee said that she forgave him, and shortly after forgiving him, he was caught. Shawnee, I want you to tell everyone what made you forgive him.
It was just I lost hope in them even catching him. And it's just something that was weighing me down. I was living in fear. Even though I was on the second floor, I would think, okay, he get a ladder and come in my window. Like I was just living in all kinds of fear, and and I had to, basically let him go. And I just remember
You spoke to someone that told you.
my mom. Yeah, I didn't have previous knowledge of forgiving him, but my mom, what happened? What did Maria say? I had to forgive him. Then what?
You had to forgive him and release him. And when you forgave him and released him, then God was going to move.
Mm-hmm.
Who told you that?
There's this lady that used to live next door. She has a prophetic gift. Like she has prophesied things in our life and they have came to pass. Like I'm just waiting for one last thing to come to pass that she has prophesied to me. But I guess it's not time for it yet because it's not in my time. It's in the Lord's time.
Amen.
She said Shawnee had to forgive. And when she forgave and just released him from it, and she could start her healing, but not only that, the Lord was going to move in the situation.
That speaks volumes. And I honestly, when I heard you say you forgave him, I wanted everybody to know what led you to forgive him, because most people wouldn't be able to forgive somebody that put them in a condition that they are, as your condition is, being paralyzed. Are you paralyzed from the neck down?
Incomplete quad. So I can do basically. I have movement that the doctors said I wouldn't have, and
Okay.
as the years progress, I get more filling, and I can do a little bit more as the years progress. My mom thinks because the swelling of my spine is probably finally going down, or I don't know, but everything that they said I wouldn't be able to do, that I'm doing.
That's
So,
awesome. That's beautiful.
so what aren't you able to do though? I think.
Like, feed myself, brush my teeth, transport, up and down the stairs, um, simple things like that. Bathe myself. That's pretty much like,
So you're basically dependent on mom to help you to do these things.
yes.
I know that when I talked to you yesterday, you showed me, well, Tina sent me pictures of you and your daughter, and I broke down. When I tell you guys, I started bawling because her daughter is her twin. And I thought to myself, I said, God is so good, because yes, she was a teen mom, but had she not had her child so early, she wouldn't have probably ever had a baby. And I think it's such a blessing. And I want to get your permission if I could share those photos with your beautiful baby girl.
Yes.
I can. Thank you. Like, I kid you not. Like, when I saw those pictures, I just broke down. I just couldn't do it. And I do feel like she was blessed with a child for a specific reason. I do. I'm just gonna look for the photos.
I think her.
You're
I know
so
her.
gorgeous. When I tell you,
I
you
know.
are so gorgeous. I'm looking
I
at
know
her
her.
photos from behind the scenes, guys. She's so beautiful.
And her daughter gave her more reason to fight. You know, she said that's
Yes.
she was giving up.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send them to my computer. But for now, I just want to say I'm so grateful that you came on here to this platform to share your story. I'm grateful for your mother helping you to set up the camera and everything like that to do this. Like, I know mom is very protective over you, but the reason for this live was not to exploit you or anything like that. It was to share your story. It was to give people hope that even if you were to be in a situation like this to where you are completely disabled, that there is still life. This woman, when I tell you, can you right now, can you show them your artwork? We're going to get back into what we were talking about, but I just want you guys to know that even though she is unable to do certain things that we can do, she has some beautiful artwork that she did with her mouth, y'all. With her
She's in
mouth.
college. She's in
I want
college. Let's
Oh
she's
yeah,
in
we
college.
gotta talk about that too. I just want to show the people this,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna go into her college photo and everything, or her high school. We're gonna talk about high school, and we're gonna talk about what she's doing now. But I just want you guys to see her beautiful artwork that she did with her mouth, you guys. Okay? There is still life even after something as tragic as this. Like, she's still here, she's still alive, you know?
Did they see it good enough?
I think it's so beautiful. Yes, look at that. This one right here. You guys see this? Gorgeous. You know what? I think you should do more artwork. Honestly, I think you should do more artwork. I just wanted everybody that's watching right now to know that even though she's going through what she's going through, she still finds the joy in life. And she also stated to me, because I asked her yesterday, I said, I didn't know if she felt comfortable with me putting the word prostitution in the title or mentioning it. And she said, no, you have to. That's part of my testimony. That's part of my life. I just had to make that note. Excuse me, y'all. So sorry. My throat. And the devil was trying to stop me because I had lost my voice a little bit. And I was like, oh my God, I'm getting sick. I'm getting sick. Yesterday, I was just tired. So I started to lose my voice. And then this morning, I woke up and my voice was like off. I said, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to do this live today. But I'm going to fight through it. I'm going to fight through it. And I'm so happy that we were able to come on here. And I don't know how many of you guys are catching the message. If anybody is touched in here, I see somebody said forgiveness is freedom. And yes, it is, because had she not forgiven, God knows this dude probably still would have been free. He probably still would have been free. And I told you about my little testimony of me forgiving somebody that did me dirty. And then the next day they end up paying for their sins. So, oh, and also, you guys, you need to understand this. I don't know if she mentioned it because I was away. I think this is very important for you guys to know. The person that did this to her ended up doing something to somebody else. And we do not know the details. He could have taken that person's life. We don't know yet. I want to personally look it up and find out what he did to this other person. But he did violate somebody else. And we don't know what happened to them. But
That's how his DNA system, I believe, right?
Yes. I think it's very important for you guys to know that what he did to her wasn't just her. He did some stuff to other people. Thank God she survived it, you know. Forgiveness is powerful. Yes, it is, Angel. It is so powerful. People don't even understand it. Y'all don't understand.
Hey, Shawnee.
Forgiveness is everything. I promise. Thank you, pretty.
Hey, Shawnee, let everyone know what happened to him because I'm sure everybody's waiting to hear
Oh yes,
what.
Shawnee. Go ahead while I pull up these pictures.
Um, I did my deposition. They showed me pictures of every everything I said he did to me. They had the pictures of his handprints on my thighs, to the charcoal around my neck because of the gun being against my neck, to the discoloration around my mouth because he put a bag over to suffocate me. I had rug burn. They showed me a picture of the rug burns on my back, and then a picture of the seat belt indented into my skin. Everything that I said he did to me, they had the pictures to basically say this is what he did and this is how bad it was. Um, and all they needed was his DNA. And so science is basically what ended up locking him up because I was not able to identify him. Now, if
Oh,
you would have looked at, yeah, because they say if he does look like the person, okay, but if you're unsure, or if he basically they ask you a question and it's supposed to be yes. It's not to say, oh well, he barely looks like the person or he does look like, you can't say that. So you either say yes or no when they ask you the question.
mhm.
Um, I was able to face him, but he could never face me. He never faced me. He just looked forward when they told me to look at him. And I believe if he would have looked straight at me, then he knew that I could identify him. But he never looked at me. Um,
Coward.
So he
and
took a deal. Shawnee. He
he
ended up
well
taking.
he so they offered him one deal, but
Mm-hmm.
he felt he deserved less than that, less years. So he ended up hiring another lawyer, and this lawyer told him, they said if she gets on this stand and tells him what you did to her and that she pleaded for her life for her daughter, then they're gonna say you're guilty and give you life. So the DA ended up giving him a different deal, but this deal was way more. Um, he added 20 years to this deal. He ended up So when it came to doing my victim impact statement, this is where I had to read, my basically, this is where I told him I forgave him. I said, you ruined my daughter's life, but I forgive you. And he ended up taking a deal for 47 years, and I believe like 6 months. I'm not sure, but I believe he took a deal for 47 years.
47 years.
Yes, he pleaded to 18 counts and took 47 years.
Take him out of the streets. Thank you, Lord.
So the other girls, the other victim, hers were part of that too, right?
Yes.
Okay. But she wasn't there to speak, so that's why it's kind of like what questionable as to what happened to her.
I never seen her. I was so kind of I didn't want to ask the questions that I kind of knew answers to, so I avoided all the questions. But I knew when I heard the 15 counts that it had to be really bad.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that he was caught. Like, God knows, had you not, I mean, I feel like he would have been eventually caught, but
How many
had
more
you not,
victims?
yeah. Oh my gosh. Again, there's many people in here that probably don't believe, but the power of forgiveness is real. It wasn't the moment she forgave him, but it took 2 years after she forgave him for him to get caught. But he was living free for years prior. Had she not forgiven him, we don't know what would have happened, you
Nope.
know? And
Mm-hmm.
forgiving him was part of your healing, was it?
Yes.
Yes.
Mentally.
And Shawnee's been wanting to do this for a while. We had talked about it. Well, actually, a couple of years ago, we were talking about doing this, and it just wasn't the time, and we just waited for God's direction. And this is where we were supposed to tell her or share
Oh,
her testimony in this moment. So with Sweet Ma, so it
yeah.
worked. I wanted it
I'm
to work.
so grateful that you guys are even sharing this publicly. Like, you don't understand what this is doing for certain people. Who knows how many people are going to be touched from this live, who have children that could easily be influenced because they want money, cars, or all the good things that are, that we look forward to in life. She said that it was an easy way to get money. And on her third day, her life changed forever,
Every day.
and the fact that she wants, hey, let me tell you something, you guys, you got to think about it. The fact that this young lady wants to even share her story to help others speaks volumes, because most people that would be in her condition, and I can't even say for myself, I'd be so angry with life and how my life turned out. I wouldn't even care to warn anybody. And I'm not saying this for myself, because you guys know I come on here and I like to talk about certain things to help people see red flags so you could, not, get hurt. But the angry me, I would have been so angry with life that I wouldn't care if anybody else goes through what I go through. So I give you so much credit and I send you so much love and hugs from me and Amir for you to be
Yes.
able to come up here to share your story, because some people, once they feel like they don't have anything left for living for, they don't care if anybody else is saved. I don't care. Let somebody else go through this and let them be paralyzed. I don't care. That's how most people would feel. And the fact that you're sharing this and your mom having your back and just being there with you to set up the camera. And I really wanted to meet your daughter today, but I understand she's sick, but I want to share her photos. Like you said, it was okay.
Yeah.
I just, I commend you for doing this, because this might just potentially help somebody that's watching right now. Because I know there
Yeah,
are a lot of young ladies that are impressionable.
and to piggyback off what you're saying, sis, even just for people like myself or people who are suffering from cancer or just sickness or just depression or loneliness, whatever you might be suffering from, when you watch a person's strength like Shawnee's, it gives you like this this I don't know, motivation. In my opinion, it makes me feel like I can get through it. If I
Yes,
when I watch strength, it helps me get through what I'm fighting. So I think that helps too. Just if you're dealing with daily battles, just know that someone like her can. I mean, Shawnee she's just strong. I mean, I don't know. It's just trying to find the words to say. She's just amazing.
you are so
She
strong.
yeah, she is.
And when she was telling the story and we were all, listen, I couldn't take it. I see mommy was crying, godmama was crying. Shit, I was, excuse my language, I was crying. And you were so strong when telling the story. And I was like, dang, I give you so much credit. I don't know
And I
how.
want to apologize too. I'm sorry, sis, not to cut you off, but I can't
Oh
see the
no, you're not
chat.
cutting me off. It's just,
I'm seeing when you post the comments, I can see them, but I'm not trying to ignore anyone. If anybody's saying anything, I can't see what you guys are saying. So I just want to make
yeah,
that
I'm
clear.
literally pinning stuff. So if you guys
Yeah,
don't see
I guess.
anything, and I was thinking, it's really up to my beautiful guest here. We could either ask the audience to ask questions now, or we could do a part two where, you know, we could talk about what you started doing to heal, what you started doing to just look at life on a different, like, because I would love to know, how long did it take for you to kind of get to where you're at right now? Because were you like laying in bed crying for a particular amount of time before you finally said, no, I'm thankful to be here, I'm blessed to be here, I have my daughter, I'm gonna paint today, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do what I like? Like,
Um, my like I have up and down days. It's not just where I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that, and stuff like that. So it's still a process, especially as I progress, as I get older. In
mhm.
this positions, there complications can happen. So that also brings me down a little bit, with my health. So it's it's something you don't get over, but it's just something you have to learn to live with. you have no choice, but to put your big girl pants on and just live with it, life. Um, so I still have my days. Like, it's not perfect. I don't know if everything will ever be the same. Um,
Case.
oh,
Your beautiful daughter, if anybody's wondering, this is not her as a child. This is her daughter. And you know what? You know how she said that it's just her learning to live with it? I feel like her having her beautiful daughter helps. I do. That's just my personal opinion. Does it
It
help
definitely.
that you have your gorgeous child?
yes.
It does.
Because it's like so much I go through that I just be ready to throw in a towel. But I stick, I deal with it and keep my faith so I can be here for my daughter. Because I'm like basically, I'm all she has.
Yes, you are. And of course your mom, your beautiful mom, your twin, who's also your twin. You are so gorgeous, by the way. I just have to say that for
Isn't she beautiful?
you're so gorgeous. You are a blessing. Do you understand that? Do you understand?
Yes.
You are such a blessing. And the fact that, again, like I said, that you're up here sharing this in order to help other people not to go down the wrong path and to allow people to see that even though you're going through what you're going through, you still see uh, a purpose in your life. And the purpose in your life is to, I believe, is to tell your story, to save others. Purpose in your life is to be a mom. Even though your situation is what it is, that doesn't mean you can't be a mom to your daughter. You have your mom. Your mom is so amazing. Shout out to your mom. Shout out to your mom. Shout out to your mom. I just have to say that.
Her testimony, her testimonies help people. They really do. A lot of times we don't want to share them. Like me, I was kind of like afraid to come out and talk about things, but I'm sorry, my voice is a little cracky. It's hard to watch all this or talk about it, but yeah, our testimonies mean a lot. So sharing them will help save lives for sure. You know.
Amen. You ain't lying. You see, Sister Teacher, thank you for this. She said, thank you so much. Many people needed this. I praise God for you, sweet mom. Thank you so much. I praise God for allowing me to. I understand that most people are more interested in drama. I get it. But you guys, we have to snap into reality. We have to think about real life. You see this beautiful young lady? Let me tell you something. She was 18 years old. She was a teen mom. She had a friend that I'm going to say a lot of us had it. And how many times have our parents warned us about friends? And our parents have always been right. And we just always
Mm.
found ways to, just think that our parents are just being stuck up, or you think that she's, not good enough or whatever because the way she's raised in the hood or she's this and that. Mom, you got her all wrong. But all along, mom gets that gut feeling that that person isn't good for you. And I know some of you are moms of teenagers, and if you're not yet, you will be.
Mm-hmm.
Understand that our friends, and I'm gonna say this for myself and Tina, you tell me, our friends do have some sort of a influence on us. Like I've stolen because friends have told me, girl, just steal it. I worked at jobs where I would give people stuff from my job because they made me feel like I had to. Like, oh, if you're my friend, you're gonna give it to me. Like I would give whatever I could. So
That's
friends do
team.
are able to influence you to do things that you shouldn't do. And unfortunately, in this case, her friend influenced her to do things that were not her age. And it turned out to, I guess, change her life. I was thinking just now as I was mentioning your friend. Have you ever talked to her since your situation?
Since my situation, I haven't spoke to her. The last time I heard of her, she went to Vegas and she was an escort, and someone said she looked washed up. So yeah.
Wow.
So I guess she still was involved in that life.
Your mom was right. Your mom was right.
So
And a
Shawnee,
lot of you parents in here are right too about your children's friends. So don't take this live as it's just okay. No, we need to stop focusing so much on what's hot in these streets, what's drama, what's this, what's that. This is real life right here. We have a real life testimony, a real life survivor. And mind you, you guys don't even know this. She has been in abusive relationships as well. She's went through domestic violence as well. This young lady has gone through way too much at a young age.
mm-hmm.
Way too much. But guess what? She's still here and she's striving. And when I tell you, when I say she's striving, I want you guys to know she was unable to graduate, right? Yeah.
No.
But I have to share this screen because I'm so proud of you. I'm
Me
so
too.
proud of you. Girl, hold on. Where can I find it? It like completely disappeared. So proud. Okay, so she was unable to graduate with her class when she was, 18 or whatnot, but she ended up graduating. Can you explain to everybody what led you to this point in your life?
She was in the paper, in the newspaper.
Yeah.
I basically I wanted a career. I wanted something for my daughter, to have. If when I left, I wanted to leave her something. Um, but also it was because I wanted to help others, save the next person, save the next soul. And in order for me to do something like that, you need an education. You need an associate's, you need a bachelor's degree. Um, so that's what my whole goal was to help others and save someone in my situation. Because still to this day, I had anxiety and I have depression. Um, PTSD only comes around once a year, but my anxiety and depression, it's an off and on thing that I have to deal with. So I know that it's not hard to heal mentally from different things that we encounter in life, different things that we go through in life. Um, and plus, I'm a strong believer of second chances and God forgiving you. And I was always in my Bible plans. So I read these different Bible plans. And one of the books, it's not verbatim, but one of the books was book of Zechariah, and he had these visions. And what stood out to me is that the visions he had basically said that the new generation would not be saved. So that right there, it was an eye opener because my daughter, she's this generation. And I know a bunch of problems, they start at home and it goes into your adult life. And I believe that I'm not knocking no one, but I believe if I grew up with a nurturing parent, then I would have really knew what love was. Like, and so that's what I really want to do is help younger kids who go through problems, especially at home. Because my dad, he would drink, but he would apologize. But at the same time, I believe it was an example of basically, I guess, what love was. So if you don't grow up with nurture, and if you don't know what love is, you're gonna seem to always choose bad guys.
Yep. Oh my gosh, girl. And I'm so happy you're mentioning that, because you guys don't understand, the viewers that are watching. I understand that you guys might be moms of teenagers. This is not just for girls. This is for guys too. It starts from home. Like this young lady said, like it travels, you know. She felt like she needed something that she wasn't getting. And I'm not saying not from mama, okay? Because mama has been there. Mama has been there warning her and everything like that. But it just it makes you think her life could have been different, you know? And right now she's trying to save lives. So please respect that. Please show her some love. Please, if you can, if you want to, if you're led to, I put it down here below. Shawnee's Cash App is Shawnee M. Davis. Shawnee, the fact that you didn't give up and you continued on with your education, and you said that you wanted to help other people to not go down the wrong path. That right there in itself, you're going to be blessed abundantly. You might not see it now. You're going to be so blessed to the point where you're going to know that there was a purpose for everything that you went through. Period. One more thing that I know I didn't get the full details of you graduating. When exactly did you graduate high school, and what led you to where you're at right now? Because guys, she's enrolled in college. Okay.
2021.
Okay.
When I officially graduated with getting my diploma, because there's adult programs that they offer to adults who want to go back to school to get their diploma. So the graduation, the article that you saw, there's other graduates who were adult who were there. So it basically was for the 3 adult schools and stuff like that. So as before I even received my diploma, I was already enrolled in college. I guess because my school, they have recruiters come out from just colleges and things like that to help sign, people up and things like that. So I was enrolled in college before I received my diploma. The first thing I chose was liberal arts, my associate in liberal arts, because I wanted to be a social worker. And then so then I saw that they had offered psychology. And then I started looking more into that because I always said I wanted to be a therapist. But I wanted to be a child therapist because that's where most of problems start, is in childhood.
Absolutely.
And so yeah, I end up changing my major to psychology, but the courses that I were taking, I guess they went over to a different degree. So I will be receiving my associates in psychology, but also I'll be receiving my degree in liberal arts and behavioral sciences. So if I decide I wanted to go into something different, but still work in the field of helping others, I can, always do that too. This semester, my semester started yesterday, Monday. Yeah, my semester just started yesterday, and this is my very last semester before I get my associates. And then from there, I would be going to an undergraduate school, a university, to receive my bachelor's.
Wow.
My bachelor's, and from there, then I will have a career in being a therapist, a child therapist, to save as many. And also, I would talk to you, Godmom, about a nonprofit that I wanted to start for young girls who are in the streets, or who have been in the streets, or who feel the streets are the easy way out. Even if they're young and a parent, I want to have a place where young moms can go, basically hide from their pimps, because when you leave your pimp, they go looking for you, and if they find you, it's a consequence.
Wow.
And so I want to have a nonprofit for where girls go feel safe, and have job recruiters there, or have school recruiters there. And I want to be in therapists. I want to be the in-home therapist for them there, because I just know, like, the way this life, like, I tell my daughter, like, when I see these girls ratchet drama on TV, I'm like, OMG, like, it was never that bad when we were, when I was growing up. But if you go on social media, there's this they have pictures of girls. These pimp had prostitutes in front of schools, walking the street in front of schools. Barely, when I say it could be maybe 30 degrees out, and they would have just a skirt and their butts out, or just a bra, and these high heels. Like, they don't care. They expect you to make a certain amount of money before you come in. And if you don't make that amount, you're out there until you make that amount.
Wow.
But there's dangers. There's dangers out there, because this life, I'm pretty sure, like, things happen, but then they don't. A person who's in prostitution don't think they have anyone, because of they are committing felonies. Class C felony in California, it's a Class C felony. So they don't turn to help. But sometimes they're scared of the consequence of turning to help. Like, for me, I knew, like, the guy, because he had got me a cell phone, but he could read my text messages and he can screen my calls. So he had pretty much
power over you.
I was 18. They have access to all this. They try to buy designer. They try to buy you all kinds of things. They try to make you feel comfortable and things like that. And some girls who are into materialistic things, they fall for it.
And at first I thought that maybe you were seeking love and he made you fall in love with him, and then you ended up falling into it. But what it was for you was you wanted stability. You wanted to be able to take care of your child. You wanted to be able to have a car and a place of your own. Is that correct?
Yes. But he made it seem like we were in a relationship. So you would think you're in a relationship with him because of the way he makes you feel. But it's just, yeah.
I got really emotional when you talked about wanting to be a social worker and a psychologist or doing anything to help children. The fact that you want to go that route speaks volumes on you as a person. You want to be a healer. You want to stop this from happening over and over and over again with other children or young teenagers or whatnot. And it just, girl, it touched me in the, or I don't even know the words, but girl, you got me all feeling all types of choked up. I just wanted to say that I'm thankful for your story. You have somebody in here that also could have. She said, thank you, Shy, for sharing this. Shy says, I almost got involved with prostitution due to dating a guy that was a pimp. Thank God I got away from him and that lifestyle. See, now, the fact that you're sharing this story probably gave this young lady, Shy, the courage to able to type that in this chat, because she didn't have to share that. And God is good. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm happy that you got out of it before You guys got to understand, Shawnee was only in it for 3 days and her life changed within 3 days. And the day that she said she felt something was going to happen to her, she told her mama, I feel like something is going to happen to me. And it did. You guys got to trust your intuition. We were given an intuition for a reason. There's so many times we haven't trusted our intuitions, and then what happens? We end up having to pay a consequence. Some of the consequences that we have paid for not trusting our intuition haven't been as detrimental as hers. Some have just been like, oh, I got a ticket on my car, or, you know, this and this, I lost this or that. She lost her ability to walk, her ability to take care of herself and do things that we are able to do, that we take take for granted, right? Do you realize how many of us are sitting here in this live and we don't even realize how grateful we should be for being able to use our fingers, for us to be able to write on a piece of paper, to pick up a bottle of water. If Shawnee is thirsty right now and she wants to drink a bottle of water, do you think she could reach for that water and get it to drink? She can't. Y'all gotta take a second for a minute and be thankful and say thank you. I don't know if you believe in God or whoever you believe in. Just say thank you, because she can't do this. If she's choked up right now and she needs to drink water, she cannot do that. So thank you, Shawnee, for having the courage to come up here, to share your story, to be so open and transparent, to try to help other people while you're in your condition. You don't have to do it, but you're doing it because it's led to, it's part of your heart. We're taking everything for granted. I can do this. I can do this. If I need to call 911 or whatever, if Shawnee needs to do that, can she do it? No, she can't. Y'all got to understand, you have a reason to be grateful. You might be going through some things right now. You might be disabled at home while you're watching me right now and you feel like your life is over. It's not. Look at Shawnee. She's trying to go to college to pursue a career so that she can help other children that are going through things that she went through as a child, so she could prevent them from going down the road that she went down. Okay? Be thankful. Take a second away from drama. Take a second away from looking at celebrity stuff online. This is real life. This can happen to you. This can happen to your family.
You can have a car accident. You can fall down a flight of stairs. I mean, it can happen. You know, we really have to. You just said some real stuff, sis. Like, for real. We can't take life for granted. And all the petty stuff that people go through, it's like it's not even that serious. Like, it's so many more things happening in the world that are so much more serious.
Real quick, because I know I don't like, because sometimes I don't hear, because I'm so lost or whatever in this conversation. I kind of like paused a little bit. Somebody had asked what happened to the girl. She discussed it. She said that she heard that the girl is continuously doing or living this lifestyle. She doesn't have any communication with the girl. But I want you to let the people know what happened to the pimp after this happened to you. What happened to him? Did he reach out to you? Did he try to show you that he was sorry that this happened to you? Please share that.
When this happened to me, it basically was kind of a little wake up call for him, because he ended up taking his girls off the street, and basically a Safeway was escorting, and he ended up leaving to Vegas. When I met him, he didn't do drugs, he didn't drink, he didn't do any of that. After this happened to me, he was doing drugs and he was drinking. So it affected him in some kind of way, but not enough to the point of where he was going to take his girls, basically not even have girls out there doing this. I guess since it seems like it's a safer way, he doesn't seem anything wrong with it. But there is a story about a girl. She did the safer way, and she was missing for like maybe 1 or 2 days. and they end up finding her body in the closet, hanging from a cord. So even though he took his girls off the street, it still can happen. A guy can get fake identification. It can happen. So I remember that I pretended to be someone else and wanted to, talk to him and see. And years later, he still was in his life. And he was like little iffy. He thought I was the cops, and then I told him like who I was and things like that. And he did apologize for this happening to me. And then that was the very last time I heard from him. So he did end up taking his girls off the street to keep them safe, but he never. I don't believe he left the life at all.
Sorry. This is hard. So it's like I can't imagine how your mom feels. Because I have no relation to you, but it hurts.
I went into a deep depression after this happened to her, but I knew I had to take care of her. Me and my mama did because nobody else was going to do it. I wasn't about to put her into a home. Like, I've never been the same. Like,
And just so people understand, I live in a different state, so I don't have access to Shawnee. I was there for when she was born, up until I left California, which has been a long time. I'm not there physically to help, but me and Shawnee spend hours on the phone, and we try to stay, as close as possible that way. But just in case anybody's wondering, that's why I'm not there with her.
yeah,
Not
because if you were here, I know you'd be here a lot.
absolutely.
But
Thank you for introducing me to her.
Of course.
When you told me about her situation, I didn't know it was this deep. Like when we first talked about Shawnee, you didn't go into detail. So
Yeah, no, I didn't.
you know,
So,
um, again, like I said, I don't know how your mom was able to deal with this because that's your mom. You came from her, So I know as a stranger, there's other people here that are probably watching that feel that pain too, and that you know obviously your godmother. But I just want to read this comment real quick because I want you to pursue your education because it might make a difference in a young girl or young boy's life too. Jasmine Dickey says, "This reminds me so much." Excuse my voice. This reminds me so much of me when I felt ignored and neglected as a child, and it led me into a domestic violence situation that I'm so grateful for because I knew as an adult I would never be a victim again. See now, Jasmine stated when she was a child, she felt ignored and neglected, and it led her to go to be in a relationship that turned out to be a DV relationship. Having somebody like you talk to children and try to save them is going to make a difference in this world. Earlier today, there was when I tell you this woman, she came from the heavens above. I don't know how she found my channel, but she's a therapist, a licensed therapist, and she just watches my lives. And I remember one time I was going through something, and she offered her services to me. She kept offering her services, and I didn't really know if I could trust her. I didn't know if she was a real therapist. She turned out to be a real therapist, and she did sessions with me for some time. When I tell you, I know I didn't stick with them, but it made a difference in my life. So the career path that you're choosing right now, I just want you to know, and I want to confirm to you that it does make a difference. Had I not been blessed with this, when I want to say her name, but I'm gonna let her, speak for herself. She was so excited when she saw that you were gonna come up here today, and I wish that she would you know, she was here in the live, but she couldn't be. Um, she made a difference in my life. She took it back to my childhood. That was hard. That's when therapy started getting a little too deep because she did something called EDMR therapy, and then it started going deep into my childhood. I just want you to know that the career path that you're choosing makes a difference. It's needed. I am 41 years old, and for me to have that woman bless me with her time, with the free therapy sessions that she gave me, it made a difference in my life. I'm not going to lie to you, it did. So for you to want to choose that path, oh my gosh, you are going to be a blessing to so many. You don't understand how many lives you could change. I had to share that with you so you could understand how much it means to be a therapist, a social worker. We need people like you. We
Yeah.
need people like you. So don't give up, y'all. Don't give up. And if you guys want to bless her with money for school books, you want to bless her with anything that you can, please. Again, I said it. Her Cash App, I pinned it on the bottom below. And I pray to God that it's the right one. I'm about to check it right now. Because I've been live all this time and I never double checked it.
Lonnie, what were you mentioning about scholarships? Because you never know who's watching.
Go ahead.
Yeah, scholarships for school for single mothers with disabilities. Um, because I do need scholarships for my fall semester that's coming up.
Mm-hmm. So if anyone knows anyone, or if you're in the chat.
Can I ask you a question? Um, what picture is okay? Your picture for because there's somebody by the name of Shawnee Davis on Cash App that has like a I guess a bird on it from a team. Make sure you guys put the M in Davis because there is a Shawnee Davis with two eyes. It's her photo, you guys. It's a photo of her. Let me show you what the photo looks like if you're gonna send her a Cash App, y'all. Because we don't want to make that mistake. Hold up. This is the photo you guys are going to see. Hold on. Sorry if it looks blurry. It's just, you know, let me put the camera on myself. This is the photo of Shawnee, you guys. Just had to put it there. If you guys want to bless her with something, if you can, you know, whatever you're led to do within your heart. But girl, I'm so proud of you because, you know, not a lot of people that go through trauma want to help anybody. They just want to deal with their own trauma.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care to help anybody. You want to help. Ooh, child. And God knows the demons that this guy is living with. Because yes, pimps are manipulators. Yes, they are. God knows the demons that he's living with right now. Knowing that he is the reason why, possibly, you're in the condition that you're in. Had you not met him. Somebody asked, can anyone explain how do you forgive? It has to be, I don't know, like
Well, um, you have to, in order for you to, because God, you know, they say God forgives.
Mm-hmm.
And so in order for God to forgive you, you have to forgive anyone who has wronged you. So it works through, you know, works with you taking the first step in forgiving. I know some people say, "Oh, I can't forgive the person," but I can tell you when I forgave this guy, physically, I felt a relief of heaviness that was just lifted off of me. Um, and you know, you hear 2 years later they end up catching the guy. So if you basically, if you want to be blessed, you have to forgive, and then you have to be patient you have to be patient, but then you also have to put in the work, because he's just not going to forgive you, and and you don't put in the work. It takes work. Like me, I'm still trying to discipline myself in my Bible plans, but I know that, in the Lord's Prayer, it says, forgive us of our debts as we've forgiven our debtors. Um, so that's why even to this day, people do things to me. Like they do messed up things and I lash out. But then I have to, come back down, and calm down, and I have to forgive that person, because I just feel that person is not right for them to do the things that they're doing. Of course they need, prayer, and they need, God to work on them. So that's what I say. Like, you have to, if you want to heal, you have to forgive. You can't heal if you don't forgive. There's no way in getting over what happened to you if you don't forgive. And you just have so much hurt and anger built up, and it just stops you. It basically is like you not forgiving that person puts a roadblock and you progressing and you having blessings. And I know you guys. Oh, that's sad.
It is sad. Sister teacher, I'm so sorry. I guess Shawnee saw the comment as well that I pinned.
Yes.
I'm gonna read it because
Oh
both
God.
Shawnee, just looking at Shawnee and Tina's face, I see that they read your comments. Sister teacher said, "My childhood friend was killed by her pimp, shot 37 times. This is a trigger for me, but I'm okay. Well, rest in peace to your friend.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm so happy that you are here today to listen to Shawnee's story. Um, Again, rest in peace to your friend, sister teacher, and thank you for sharing that. You guys don't realize how deep this is right here. This testimony is a testimony because she could have lost her life. She got shot in the neck and shot in the face, y'all. And
In the
she said
mouth.
she felt her body going. She felt like she was gone. She knew she was paralyzed the first shot because she couldn't do anything with her body. And
Did
guess
you
she still did artwork.
did you tell them how when he shot you in your mouth, he held you by your hair and looked you in your face and
Oh
shot
yeah,
you?
when he put the gun in my mouth, I remember him grabbing, like, so I could look him in the eyes. So basically, when he put this gun in my mouth, he made sure that I looked him in his eyes.
He grabbed her by all of her hair. Shawnee had beautiful, well, you seen the pictures, but she had beautiful, thick, curly hair, and he grabbed her by a handful of her hair and put the gun in her mouth and made her look him in the eyes and shot her right in her mouth.
After he had already shot her in the neck.
After he had already shot her in the neck. Yes. Just evil.
May God deal with him. And I know some of you that are watching probably don't believe in God, but listen, there's a higher power. Shawnee, for anybody that doesn't believe in God, is there anything you want to say? Like,
He's real. And I grew, because I knew about God. I knew there was a heaven, and I knew there was a hell, and I even was baptized when I was younger. So I knew that in order for him to forgive me in the life that I was living, and to make it to see him instead of, see going to hell, I had to ask for forgiveness, because I knew it was wrong. Even when I was bleeding out and my body was slipping away, I knew that I had to ask for forgiveness from God. And he gave me a second chance. And I really didn't know much until I spoke to the woman prophetic. She told me all these things about uh, God knew my heart, and he sent me guardian angels to stay with me. Even though when I was
And,
in an ICU, they were with me.
Mm-hmm.
and just to show how cold this guy was, when you did your impact, did you do like a victim impact statement or something like that, Shawnee?
Yeah, I
And
did my victim impact statement, and through the whole thing, he was just so mad. He was just so angry. Like he thought I was dead When he dumped me in that alley and he drove off, he thought I was dead.
But the devil is a lie.
And he had a chance at that point to say anything, and he chose to say nothing. Like, how could you be so sick? Like, it's just some evil in the world. I hate even.
And they said, the detective said when they showed him the picture of her and said, "Do you remember her?" And he was trying to act like he didn't remember her. And they said, "Yeah, well, she's alive." They said he looked like he seen a ghost.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Because they had came up here to show her a 6-pack. You know, they show the 6-pack
Mm-hmm.
of different assailants, and she pointed him out. Yep.
Wow. And he looked like he seen a ghost.
They said when they said, "Do you remember her?" And he was trying to act like he didn't know what they were talking about. And they said, "Well, she's alive. She didn't die." He looked like they said he looked so sick, like he had seen a ghost. Because he thought he killed her. I mean, he did all that, and then he left her in the alley where they dumped trash. He wasn't expecting nobody to find my baby at all. At all. They weren't coming back to that alley for, I think he said, 2 more weeks. So he knew that area. They weren't coming to pick trash up for another 2 weeks. And what would they have found if the Lord wasn't with her? A decomposed body. He thought.
And she flatlined twice, right? In the whole.
Yes.
Okay.
Y'all don't understand what flatline means. If you don't know what flatline means, it means she was gone, y'all. She was gone. Okay? Had she not been in the hospital for them to revive her, she would have been gone. She was laying in garbage. Ants crawling up and going up her nose, all dust all over her body, you guys. He treated her like literal trash.
Yep.
And to the people that are sending her a cash app right now, I don't know if she could see it, right? But maybe mom could check.
She said, "Check your cash app, Shawnee." She sent something. You don't have to say how much, but see if you got a cash app.
Yeah. I'm getting it. Thank you, guys.
So grateful, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Then we had went to go get something to eat one day. Me, my mom, and her her little sister, because her little sister was 15 when this happened, and she stopped going to school. So she ended up having to go to like alternative school when Shawnee had got a little better and get caught up. But they wouldn't let us go upstairs. And my mama was like, "I know something happened with Shawnee." I said, "Yeah, because they're not letting us go upstairs." She had flatlined again. And when they had took her off life support, I guess it was too soon. And they had to put her back on because they found out her lung had collapsed from being in that alley. And she still has problems with that lung. It's weaker than the other.
And a lot of people probably missed out on this. She has a trach, you guys. The trach is put in her throat. And, you know, I noticed that I seen all these beautiful photos of her. And let me share the screen with you because I think Tina or you mentioned something to me. All the photos of her where she's covering her neck, she's covering her neck because she has a trach in her throat. If you guys don't know what that is, can you explain what the trach is doing to help you?
Basically, if I need suctioning, like if you know how people could cough up their mucus, my diaphragm's weak to the point I can't cough up. I can't bring it up to spit it out as normal people. So if I need suctioning, then the cap comes off and my mom can suction me to take out to suck the mucus out.
So you just cover. I'll show them another photo that's a close up. You just cover your neck. I noticed, and I was just like, oh, she looks so cute. You know, I thought it was a fashion thing. There was a photo of you in red.
Do you want to show them what your trach looks like so they can see what are you comfortable with that? I can show them.
No, not right now.
Okay, maybe next time.
Yes. She's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, you're so gorgeous. Um, I'm proud of you. I don't know you, but I'm proud of you. You're such a strong woman and an inspiration to so many people. And I understand that we've been talking for all this time, and there might be some people that want to ask you questions. So if you're okay with it, the next time, because I don't know if you want to keep going, we could do like a Q&A and you can inspire some people. You never know. You can inspire some people.
I wish some teens would get on here that think they know everything.
Oh, so hey, moms that are watching with your kids, I want you to let your kids know, this is something real. She's so beautiful. I got to keep her picture up there just so you guys can see. But from my heart, from the heart to the air, to your higher self, forgive yourself for the things that you did. Allow the things you couldn't handle. You don't have to forget. Thank you, Shorty, with the hype, Sonia. I believe she has forgiven herself along with forgiving the person that put her in this position. And the person that put her in this position, I'm pretty sure, thinks about her. You can't forget about what he did. God knows what he's done to other women,
Mm-hmm.
other victims. She survived it, and she was supposed to, because she's going to be a lesson for many other people that possibly tune in, many other people that meet her after she becomes the therapist, the psychologist, the social worker that she wants to be. You're going to change lives. I know you changed some tonight. Might be a handful, but guess what? That's better than none, right?
I
That's
always
better
say
than
that if you change one life or save one life, you've done your job. That's what I always
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
I want to save many, but one is enough.
yeah. That's what you said to me. You said to
Mm-hmm.
me, if my story touches one person, I did it. Like that's
Yeah.
you told me that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Shawnee. So I know, the time is I obviously I can see it's getting dark and whatnot. And I really wanted it to be up to you on how you felt. If just for a few more minutes, if
You want the lighter?
anybody wants to ask you a question, are you okay with answering? If people want to type a question,
Yes.
so you guys hurry up before I end the live because I want Shawnee to get a good night rest. This was a lot. This was a lot for her and mom, and obviously Tina, godmama. um,
Ooh, I've been.
and I know some of you too. Y'all gonna need to decompress after this. I want you guys to like not be sad about this live. Okay, please. While you guys gather your questions, hurry up, type them up, ask her a
Mhm.
question now because I'm scrolling down. I don't want you guys to be sad. Don't be sad for her. If anything, you want to support this beautiful young lady, you can support her. If you know any resources, if you guys happen to be, like, for instance, when I was live, I never knew that there was a therapist watching me. I never knew that. And guess what? She blessed me with free sessions, guys.
Hmm.
And her free sessions have done so much for me. I know I'm not healed or anything like that, but it did help me in more. I can't explain it in words, honestly, but the time that she spent with me did help me. So you guys got to understand the importance of therapy. I would have never come across her had she not found my live and given me her free sessions. um there might be somebody out there that is watching and you guys could help her out with a scholarship. you know Somebody could bless her cash app. um I think you are deserving of a book, a movie,
All of
because
it.
honey, and it would start from your childhood, because people don't realize how much our childhood plays a part in our lives. Our connection with our dads,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, our connection with the man in our lives. sometimes will lead us to the wrong men, if you think about it.
Yep.
Work,
Sometimes,
Shawnee.
yeah, sometimes you love so deep, especially being young, and you can be lured into so many things, and that you just don't realize aren't good for you. But when you're young, you just, it's easy to be influenced, especially by a man as a woman. So you know,
Exactly.
not
Everybody's
raising.
saying you're so beautiful, Shawnee. You are.
Thank you.
You are. You're so gorgeous. Y'all didn't even get to see her mom, yo. Her mother is her twin. Her daughter is her twin. They're like they're so beautiful. I'm just gonna say that.
Wish they give you a big. Oh, the
And
comments
I'm
are so
thankful
sweet.
for Mama because had it not been Mama, she's the one that set this up. Like, I'm thankful for you. Thank
Yeah,
you for
me too.
being there to allow us to have this conversation and to share Shawnee. Because Mommy could be so protective to where Mama doesn't want Shawnee to go on live and tell her story.
But Shawnee needs to, because Shawnee might be able to save some people that are, especially young girls.
Yes.
That's what she really needs to, they need to hear this, to think they know everything. Oh, especially the girls that think that their home girl is their home girl. No, no, your friend's not going to try to get you to do nothing wrong.
That's right.
They're not. And I told the girl, I said, you know what? I says, I don't like you. And if anything happens to my daughter for you hanging with her, something's going to happen to you.
You told her. You just knew.
Chanel, you know I don't bite my tongue. I told her that. I told her that. And she goes, no, ain't nothing going to happen to her. I said, okay, just so you know. Just so you know. And as soon as this happened to Shawnee, that girl ran to Vegas because she knew wasn't nobody playing with her.
Mm-hmm.
So she never even reached out to say sorry, Shawnee?
No.
No. Nothing. Not even check on her to be like, girl, oh my God, I can't believe this happened to you, sis.
No.
Nothing.
No.
Motherfucking devil. God knows what she's going to experience in her life. In her time, it'll come. And I'm not wishing bad on anybody, but usually stuff like this, she will learn. And I just, real quick, because I had to check on Amir. Behind the curtain says, hi, Shawnee. My name is Eric. I'm Tina's uncle. I'm so proud of you. You're such a strong woman. You'll make a great counselor someday. Thank you, Sir Eric. Thank you so much. And I hope this reaches a lot of people after the live is over. Being able to view a video while it's live is pretty cool because the people are able to ask you questions if they want to. But once we're off the air, they can't. So I'm going to scroll down. Oh, I skipped 2 questions. Thank you so much. All right. I wanted to look. All right. Sister Teacher asks, I want to know, did she love her pimp?
I thought I did. Like I said, he makes you seem like you're in a relationship with him. So yeah, you can say I loved him, but I was not in love with him.
But you felt like you loved him, but just not in love, like in a relationship.
Yes.
She felt safe.
Shawnee, Shorty with the hype, Shania, thank you so much for this question. She says, with human trafficking going on more and more, what are some of the red flags for fake friends? And I'm pretty sure Mama could answer this one.
The friends who take you out and get you drunk and have you a bunch around of guys. And sometimes they'll tell you, like, if they offer you money, then give the money to them. But those were some of the red flags, and I didn't understand. Like I said, I didn't have no knowledge of any of this.
Like when Shawnee told me that the girl had her go to a convention type where the men are businessmen and they come in for the convention and had her dancing and she took my money. I said that B, excuse me, but I said that B is pimping you. That's what she's doing. What do you mean? She goes, well, she says since she introduced me to the guys that she gets the majority. And I said, if you let me see her, she gonna get the majority of my foot up her. But
Oh.
but
Remember you mentioned that you said that she felt like you owed her because of her. You were the one. Oh my gosh. You remember you said that she was a little jealous. You felt the jealousy, right? So that there goes a red flag for you, Shaunya. There's jealousy. You will sense it. You felt it, right?
Yeah.
but the girl would never, it's funny because she would not tell Shawnee I would want to talk to her. The girl would never like let me see her in person. It was always over the phone.
Remember I called you because she was trying to fight me when I was drunk?
Yeah, she tried to fight her
because
when she was drunk.
I wouldn't do something. I wouldn't do anything with a guy. I wouldn't. So she tried to, yeah.
And I told her she tried to fight you because she's making money off of you. So by you refusing to mess with this dude, that's cutting off her money. That is not your friend. And I'll be like, I want to talk to her. You know what I mean? And the girl would always want to talk over the phone. Hey, mom, don't mom me. I am not your mom. I ain't nothing to you. I ain't even like my daughter.
So she was being fake with you. Hey, mama.
Yes. And I told her, I says, I have one female friend. One. And we've been friends since we was, I guess, maybe like 5 years old. I said, I could see right through you. And you don't want to see the ugly side of me. Because I just look nice. And she would never want to see me in person. At all. Me or her baby sister. She would not want to see us in person.
There goes another red flag for you. She didn't want to see you in person. When a friend can't face you, it's because they know you see through them. They know you see through them. That's why she couldn't face you.
And I felt the bad spirit. The one time I did see her in person and I warned her, I felt the bad spirits all up on her. And I told Shawnee, that is not your friend. Yes, she is. I says, no, she's not. Trust me, she's not.
You never think that, someone will have you doing stuff like that.
And also, I want to
introduce you to things like that.
I want to bring up something as well. Shawnee mentioned, I'm kind of going back a little bit, but Shawnee mentioned the guy that assaulted her, the way, that did that to her. He had a crucifix hanging in his car or his van.
And so he's wearing one, sis.
Okay, yeah. So he looked trustworthy as well. So even if it's just you're not even out on the street doing that and maybe just need a ride or just whatever, you just got to be cautious of everything, because just because something looks right doesn't mean it's right.
No. Yeah. So and I told Shawnee that I said he had that hanging because who would think a man wearing one and having one from his mirror would do something like that? I said, you ran into Satan, the biggest deceiver himself that night. Girl, look how many, I said, and look how many ways he tried to take you out. And God says, no, you are a walking testimony. I tell her that all the time. Me and my mom did.
And guess what? It's going to be a lot of other people reminding you that you are a walking testimony, period. Because first of all, I just want to say, Tina, thank you for mentioning that, because I felt like we kind of like passed over it and we didn't really go into detail. If I were to see somebody with a crucifix, or if you guys don't know what crucifix means, a cross, when you see cross, you think automatically Christian. You think, this person loves the Lord and would probably fear the Lord if they did anything to harm you, that they're going to be punished. And for him to be the person that put her in this condition, it shocks me, because I would have never thought that somebody with a crucifix on their neck or hanging in their car would have been that evil. So the red flags are there, but a lot of times they're disguised by crucifix.
Nice looking, clean cut guy, right? Wasn't he like? So he wasn't like creepy looking where you run and oh gosh, he looked trustworthy.
And he did this to her a week before, according to the the prison thing, when I look it up and see his birthday and all that, he did this to her a week before his 24th birthday.
So he was only
So right now he should be in his 40s, right?
Yeah.
Because when he met her, he was about to be, he was like 29-ish when she was 18.
Oh, I'm talking about the Felipe guy, the one that did this to her.
Ooh, I wish I could plaster his face to show you guys that piece of trash. Ooh, trash.
And when they were in court during her court thing, and they were talking about the other victim and all the counts against her, they were talking about her in past tense as if she wasn't here anymore.
Are you serious?
So she wasn't at court. The other victim, they were talking about her in past tense, like as if, yeah.
Have you guys ever well, obviously you don't know because you said it was like you were speaking of her in past tense, but have you ever been curious to go digging and to find out what happened to the girl, or to look up the former pimp to see where he's at right now? Like, have you ever been curious to just see what's happening?
No.
Because, you know, me inside, I'd be like, oh, I want to know that this person paid for what they did to me. So I would want to know, like, where he's at right now. Is he homeless on the street? Is he, you know, continuously doing this to young ladies?
But see, part of forgiveness, you have to let that go and let God handle him. The revenge is not for you to wonder what's going on with him. And it's because God's handling him and Felipe. You can trust that. So that's part of forgiveness.
All right. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Let it go and put that in his hands and let him deal with it, because he can handle them way better than you can, and he's not going to get in trouble for it.
Amen. You're right. And I'm so happy that you pointed that out, because there's a side of me, you know, I'm human, but I have a side of me that just I'm angry. I want you to pay for what you did to me, or to my family member, or to my friend, and I want to see you pay for it. You know,
that was the old me. But watching her, and then the Lord getting me through everything that I've been through, all my domestic violence situations where I could have been put in her position or I could have been killed, and he got me through all that. That's not me no more. I let the Lord deal with you.
Amen. You know, maybe one day, like, if you ever want to share your story, because I really feel like it will make a difference. You opening up and talking about being a DV survivor, and your daughter as well. I think it will make a difference, because there's so many people that stay in these situations. And rest in peace to my friend. I have a friend whose life was recently taken about 9 months ago. Like, my thing is, she had a 13-year-old daughter, and the person that she was with shot her straight in the face, straight in the head. Okay. And people will stay in these relationships and just think that, oh, okay, you know, this person just has a bad temper, or this and this and that, whatever, whatnot. And when we have real life people that have been through real life TV, it makes a difference to hear your story, because you might just help that girl that's watching behind the scene or behind the camera get up and walk away.
Or they tell you, if I didn't love you, I wouldn't hit you.
I heard that before. So girl, I'm sorry. I feel like it is very important for you. You don't have to share the story with me. You could even do it with my beautiful sister Tina. That's your sister.
She knows all about. She knows every last one I've been through. She knows some of the guys personally. Like, me and her grew up since we was like 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, and I really think you picked a wonderful godmother for your daughter.
Couldn't have picked a better one.
Nope.
She's the godmother of all 4 of my kids.
That's how you know she's everything. Like, Tina, let me tell you something. I love you, girl. Like, for real. Like, real love.
I've been crying the whole live, and y'all. I'm
Listen,
sorry.
had it
Feel
not
so
been for Tina, I would have never met you. And I'm thankful to meet you and your beautiful daughter, your twin. I'm thankful for you to share your story. I know you didn't tell me everything. We'll talk about it if you want. But I'm so happy that you survived domestic violence, because people look at DV as if, oh yeah, you're just getting hit. It's not a big deal. No, it's a big deal. It's a
Mhm.
big deal because you could lose your life. You could lose your life if somebody hits you in the wrong place, your temple, for instance. You could lose your life if somebody chokes you too hard and you're just
You
gone.
be paralyzed like her. Like when I got like when I got slammed on my head, I could have got my neck broke. So you can, it's a lot of stuff that can happen.
Yeah. I'm just so happy to just be building with you ladies, and we're talking about real life issues that a lot of us just like push aside because we're so entertained by just regular celebrity drama and stuff like that. But this is real life, and we just wanted to take a moment to just point out that there are other people that are going through worse than you, and they still find a reason to smile and to succeed and do what they're doing. Like I really feel ashamed talking to Shawnee, because Shawnee, what I'm going through is nothing compared to what you're going through. My child is disabled and I take care of him. And I allowed, once I lost my job, to be the reason why I got so depressed to where I can't work anymore. I can't do anything. All I want to do is sleep my days away, or I just gave up on life. But when I look at him, I got to get up. I got to feed him. I got to get up. I got to do this. I love my baby. I want to be there for him, right? But then I look at you and your situation, and look at what you want to do. You want to go to school. You want to help other people. Like, and I'm embarrassed, like I said, for me wanting to give up on life just because of what? Minor things. Yes, my son needs me to be his eyes, his ears, his mouth, but I'm blessed to have him. I like seeing it. I'll take my baby the way he is. If God were to tell me I will reverse you being pregnant and you don't have to ever deal with a child knowing that he's going to be disabled, I'm like, give me the same baby because I love him so much.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So
and that's how you feel too, sis, right? Just to still have Shawnee no matter how you have her, you
Mm-hmm.
have
right.
her, right?
People
Mm-hmm.
don't understand it. You might look at the situation and be like, why are they even living? Like, I wouldn't want to live if I had to be a quadriplegic, or if I had to depend on somebody to feed me and do this. Y'all don't understand until you are in that situation. I would have never in life, if I was given the option before to have a disabled child, if this gonna be the only child you get to have in your life, will you take them or not? Most likely back then, if I was given the option, I'd say no. I'd rather not have no kids. But now that I'm in it and I have my son, I can't see my life without him. And
Mm-hmm.
so when I look at my situation and I'm so depressed, like I can't work, I can't do this because I can't go back to school, I can't do none of this. How do I feel now, especially talking to you, and you are striving for nothing but the best and you want to help other people? You know what? You're an inspiration. That's what you are. Yes, I'm a little embarrassed of myself because, that's how I was feeling. But talking to you inspired me. And guess what? You probably inspired a couple of other people in here too. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to thank you for that. Because I'm not going to sit here and lay and sleep my life away and cry about what I can't do. No, what can I do? How about that? What can you do, Shawnee? You could change lives, Shawnee. You changed lives tonight on this live, Shawnee. Period. You did. Oh, real quick, I want to read this, and rest in peace to your brother's your friend's brother. Miss Fee said, my friend set me up to get kidnapped and it led to my brother's death. Oh my God. Rest in peace to your brother, Miss Fee. I'm so sorry. My friend set me up to get me kidnapped and it led to my brother's death. I'm so sorry. Listen, that goes back to these friends that mom was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got to be
Wow.
careful with the people you keep. Had you not had that friend, and
Wow.
I don't want you to feel guilty about having that friend, sister. Please do not feel guilty, and rest in peace to your brother. and that person is going to pay. Even though your friend didn't do or take your brother's life, your friend will pay. Period.
Yeah, because they were complicit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Let me see if there's anybody else asking a question.
It's like when mom died, passed away. That was hard on Shawnee too, but she's overcoming it. I was kind of worried about that when it happened, how she would be able to handle
Oh
the
yeah,
loss.
she was bad for some months.
Yeah, yeah.
I just want to read a positive thank you. Thank you, Shay's reaction. Thank you so much. Shay's reaction said, "Thank you for sharing your testimony. I appreciate your strength, your willingness to keep going. You are a survivor. You have a purpose. And again, thank you so much for sharing. Prayers up, mama." Thank you, Shay, for that. And I know Shawnee appreciates that. And her mom and Tina. Oh, sister teacher says she's sorry for all the typos. She's crying. You're touching a lot of people here today, ladies. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. Oh man, I'm Tina's daughter. Oh, that's your daughter?
Yeah.
Hi. Oh, so nice to meet you, Shari. Shari says I'm Tina's daughter and she's my godmom and god sis. So you're her godmom?
I'm Sherry's godmom, and this is her god sister. Yeah.
Ah, this is beautiful. Thank you for being here. Shawnee is a prime example of no excuses. Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amazing Mims. I love you, Amazing. Amazing Mims says, let me say it again. Shawnee is the prime example of no excuses.
Yeah, she is.
Period. I love it. Cancer 66 says, "Thank you for doing this live tonight, sweet mom. Although I'm 57 years old, I really needed a reality check on being grateful for what I have and what I've been delivered from." Amen.
Amen.
Period. Thank you, Cancer 66, for that. Oh my gosh. Life has a funny way of slapping you in the face. Yes, London. It does. But guess what? She shook that slap off. She got slapped, but she shook it off. She shook it off. And a lot of us have. Yeah, a lot of us have. Oh, I'm so happy. God gives the toughest battles to his strongest people. Amen.
Amen.
We were saying the same thing yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Queen G. She said, everybody hit the like button. If you guys please share this. I do feel like this is something shareable. I think that somebody will gain something from this. I wish I had more of a reach. I feel like your story would be great with people that who can I think of? Even that there's something called the soft white underbelly. I know many of you probably know what it is. Like even if you were to tell your story there, I think it would be amazing because
And at-risk youth programs.
Youth programs?
The at-risk youth programs.
Yeah. I definitely feel like her story needs to be told because it's inspiring in a way, like, you know, it's sad. It's sad, but it's inspiring all in one, you know.
I think she spoke at her sister's at-risk youth program thing that she had. Remember Crystals?
Yeah, like years ago.
Yeah.
She's just so strong. You know, that's the thing. When you talk to her, she's just always so uplifting, so positive. She never like sounds down. She never. It's just she's just always so like, I don't know, strong.
She's strong. Like, do you see, sis? Do you realize when she was telling her story, she was able to tell it, and she told it while we over here were breaking down. She is strong.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing. Like I can't even keep a dry eye, and she just.
And it's not that she's not sensitive towards what she went through. It's that because she said to me yesterday, she learned to live and accept her life for what it is. I can't put the words
Things
that
you
you
can't
said.
Shawnee,
What
say
did you say, Shawnee?
it was touching.
Yeah, the way you said it, you made me think, because you were like, I've learned to accept my life. How did,
The things
man?
you can't change or something. Shawnee,
Yes,
do you
that,
remember?
that. Say it, please.
It's something that you know you learn to live with. Um, what can you help me? Cause
You remember what she says, sis?
It's kind of like I'm not really. It
She
was I
said,
should have wrote it down.
she said
Something
something
about
like she learned to accept the things that she cannot change.
yeah.
yeah, I learned it. I have like basically you learn and you accept the things you cannot change because if you don't, then you just be stuck, and you
Right.
don't progress, you don't
That's
grow, you know you don't learn from the experience
Yeah.
basically. So for me, I felt like I didn't want to go on. I felt like just giving up. But then it's like if I want to make a change and make a difference, I have to keep going. Um, so basically, that's like what I really can say. It's just you know you keep your faith and you stay positive, um, and don't give up because you cannot grow from an experience if you give up and if you don't hit it head on. It's something you
mm,
can't run from, so you have to hit it head on. You know, I'm not saying it. You know, Rome wasn't built in a night, but I'm just saying like you have to take the steps. You have to take the necessary steps. You have to discipline yourself and accept the things that you can't change.
I,
It'll just make you stronger. It'll make you stronger.
I feel like that right there was a perfect way to, because we don't have any more questions, to end the live, because I know that you're tired, and I know that this was a lot. It took a lot out of you, and a lot of us that were watching tonight. Um, I would love for you, if you want to, when you're not busy with school, because you guys, guess what? Like I said, if you missed it, she enrolled in college. Um, if anybody wants to help her with college books, anything, tuition, whatever it is that she might need, the
mm-hmm.
Cash App is right there. um, what else can I say? Okay, so if you're interested to give us like an update, or you want to do, another session where you could like uplift other people, uh, I think I think it would be great, and I would love it, but it's up to you. We could do like a Q&A. People could ask you questions and you could just answer. I could even drop the link and allow one person at a time to talk to you, if you're okay with it.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we'll figure out when you're okay with it, and maybe you can inspire somebody. Like, let's say somebody has a daughter at home that needs to get this message, and the best way to get the message is to actually talk to you. They could have their daughter call in on the live, well, call in the live, and then you could talk to their daughter or son, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's a great idea.
I think,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good.
okay, again, I just want to say thank you. You took your precious time to spend it with us tonight, and it means the world to me. I know it means the world to a lot of other people too. Tina, wink wink, had it not been for you, this wouldn't have happened. So I want to give you a special thanks, and I want to let you know that I'm thankful for you coming into my life. A lot of people have come and gone, and you stuck by me no matter what. You didn't hear from me, you didn't go away, you just stayed there, and you wouldn't give up. And I feel like there was a reason for that, and I thank you, and I love you dearly, for real, for real. Like, and it was such a pleasure to meet you, Shawnee. Your mom, beautiful. That is your twin.
Thank
um
you.
I'm so happy to see that both of you are still friends after all these years from childhood. You know how rare it is to find people that have been friends since they was like 9 years old. and you're
Yeah, we
both
call
godmothers of each other's children. You guys are more than godparents or friends. You guys are literally sisters.
Mm-hmm.
that.
And I love it. And I wish that you guys lived closer together.
I know.
You know,
We're the
uh,
exact same age.
exact same age too. Well, guess
Mm.
what? You guys were meant to be in each other's lives. I'm gonna tell you right now. And I'm gonna take this as a blessing. Sometimes you gotta play the hell out of your hand you're dealt with. Okay. Omeza Mim says sometimes you gotta play the hell out of the hand that you are dealt. Play the chips you got.
Mm-hmm.
You got this. Oh,
Yep.
I know that, I mentioned it already, you guys. Her artwork is amazing. It's beautiful. And I just wanted to share this person with you for a second before we go, because I did mention to you, and I told Tina, I had seen a girl and I followed her on Instagram that is disabled. Do I know her story? How she became disabled? No, I don't. But
Ooh.
but she's so amazing at what she does. She cannot use her arms. They usually set up the camera for her, and she has a trach as well. She has a trach as well. This is her painting, Bob Marley, with her mouth.
Wow.
Show you, um,
Oh,
you're not alone, my dear. You're not alone. There's other people that are going through similar things, and I feel like it's important for you to see with your own eyes that you're not alone.
whoa.
You see
Look at
this? I I know I might be messy sometimes.
Wow.
I might
that's
be
amazing.
messy. Yes, I might be messy sometimes. This channel is not about mess. I want to help people more so than to bring people down. Um, it's important to me that
Hmm.
messages like this get shared.
And that's
Wow.
also you just
Look
said
at
about
Sade.
alone. That's like so important because a
That's
lot of
Sade,
us.
isn't it?
Yes,
Oh, it is.
Wow.
she's doing this with her mouth, you guys. And guess what? Shawnee paints with her mouth too. She
Mm-hmm.
just actually she started, but I don't think it was something that, you know, I don't know if you plan on continuing, but me personally, Shawnee, I think you should. It's therapeutic to paint.
She said
And
that.
she did say, you did say that, right?
She
Mhm.
said. Mm-hmm.
See, Shawnee, she has a trach. You see the trach?
Mhm.
Wow.
If you guys don't know what a trach is, it's right in her neck. It's like, I think it's helping her to breathe, and they suction. There we go. You can see the trach here, right around the neck.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Look at that.
Yeah. So, Shawnee,
Wow. That was nice.
again,
Thank you for sharing that, sis. That's awesome.
It
yeah.
is.
I just want Shawnee to know she's not alone. Because, Shawnee, let me tell you, my ways of coping with what I've been through with my son is finding other moms that have children that are like Amir.
Yep.
And it helps. Let me see if I could show you this girl uh,
Mm-hmm.
in her wheelchair. Hold on. I was looking for something. It's almost like some of the videos are deleted. That's weird because I did see more posts from her before. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, I figured I would just share that with you.
Wow.
Oh, she
Love
went to Art Basel. That's pretty major. This is a very major thing. You see her in her chair.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I think she controls things with her eyes because she can't use her hands, guys. But this is her. She went to Art Basel. Art Basel is a huge thing, guys. If you're into art, I see her with a lot of celebrities coming and looking at her art.
That's awesome.
Shawnee, again, you might
and
not
that,
think that your art was anything, but I'm gonna tell you right now, when I saw your art, it gave me goosebumps. And I
mm-hmm.
love art. I'm into art. If you guys, if you could show Shawnee's art one more time before I go, like I know it's dark in your background, but we could still see it. I would really appreciate it because I know there's some people that's gonna wanna probably buy some of Shawnee's art. See that? She did that with her mouth, you guys. Shawnee, you are so special. You are so special. This is beautiful. I think it's beautiful. A lot of people prefer abstract art over anything else. Oh, sister teacher, I'm sorry if I missed your message. Hold on. It must be important because she said I missed her last comment. God is key to the strength in her life. Amen.
Amen.
The teacher wanted you to know that God is key to you.
Yep.
And see, a lot of people are saying great live, great live. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. Thank you all. Mom and Shawnee, would you like to say anything before we go?
No.
Thank you for listening to her story, and I hope that it can help even one person. Like it's real out there. Like people say they're your friends and they're not your friends. There's people out there that claim to love you, but they're only out to hurt you and use you. And you have to pray to the Lord to give you the discernment to know who's there, like sent by him, and to reveal who's sent by the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I had to learn to do. You know what I mean? Because I was in these relationships, and now that I learned how to really tap into my gift of prayer
and love yourself
and pray and ask the Lord to reveal people's true intentions, it's crazy how many people that I just don't deal with. You have to know people's true intentions to when they want to surround themselves with you, and when they just suddenly come into your life, who they were sent by.
Right.
So you have to have faith, and you have to learn discernment. And everybody's not your friend to say they're your friend.
And Shawnee, can I
Thank you
say
for sharing that? No, thank you for sharing that because I think that needed to be reiterated throughout the live. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Sister Tina. Go ahead.
I wanted Shawnee to like say something, like give somebody some kind words that you can think of, you know, at like in the spur of a moment that might be feeling lost and might be feeling like they can't do it, or they're, you know, wanting to give up, or what can you say to somebody that's feeling like that right now? Like what's something that you can share with them?
Where it's the scripture, Romans 5:3. And it says not only that, but we also glory in tribulations, knowing that tribulation produces perseverance, and perseverance character, and character hope. Now hope does not disappoint, because the love of God has poured out in our hearts by the Holy Spirit who was given to us. So we're going to encounter obstacles, or tribulations, but I say they're obstacles, and we are going to be tested. We're going to be tested by God, and I can tell you, when he tests us, you'll know, because you'll be wanting to give up, but then you don't give up because you have a greater purpose. So if my niece is in here, I'm sorry. So I believe that there's resources out there. Like I said, if I knew that there was resources out there for people in my situation, I would never turn to the streets. I would never, call the pimp and said I needed a place to go and I need a place for my daughter. I wouldn't never called him. So there are resources out there that can help you in any situation you're in. And it's always good to have someone to talk to.
Yes.
To talk to someone about what you're going through. Because I used to not want to talk to people, but it helps. It really helps to talk to someone about what you're going through, especially leave out there, especially if you've gone through so much in life and you feel like you have no one, you have someone. And even if it's not flesh that you speak to, you can always talk to God because He's always listening. You pray to God, you give it to Him, and He will see you through it. But don't expect anything to happen overnight. It takes patience.
Patience.
It's always on His time. So just because you're praying and you're having faith and there's nothing happening, your time is coming. You just have to be patient. It's a way in Him building discipline in you.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be disciplined. And there's steps you have to take in order to be disciplined. You just can't say, "Oh well, I'm going to make this change and I'm going to do this." You have to take the steps. You have to put in actions behind what you say. Um and just have faith. Like there's been times where I want to give up and I be thinking about everything that I'm going through because of Felipe, and then sometimes I even get upset with myself. I had to learn how to forgive myself. Um and it's like it's not and it's not easy. Like none of this stuff is easy. But it is discipline and it is patience.
Hmm.
That
Discipline.
people need to realize that it's everything is on His time and no one ever knows when God's time is.
Right.
So that's what I can say.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
Thank you so much for saying that. Angel Gibson says, "We love you, Shawnee." Excuse me. "We love you, Shawnee, and your faith. Your strength gives us courage to stay faithful to God." Thank you so much. And then I also want to say this. Lady Love says, "Put all your trust in God. He knows what is best. God will turn what the devil meant for bad for His glory. Faith
Amen.
in God, everything.
Amen.
Faith in God is everything." Sister Teacher wanted really for her to send a message to you, but I honestly, this is the last message that I see from Sister Teacher, and I want to end it with this because she wants you to know that God is the key to the strength in your life. God is the key to the strength in your life. For those of you who don't believe in God, I understand you might not believe in Him right now, but one day, if you were ever to be in a position that this beautiful young lady has ever been in, if you're ever to be in a position of a mom that has a child that has a severe disability like Amir, you're going to probably end up believing in God.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you right now, especially when you're fighting for your life, because I remember feeling like that same exact way she said she felt her body. She felt like she was about to go. I literally felt like I was going to go. And I asked God, I swear to you, as God is my witness on my life, on my family. I was laying in that hospital bed and I'm looking at the doctor's face, looking at me like he's scared. And I immediately went into prayer and I asked God, I said, "God, please, if anything, let my son live. Let him live, please. But don't take him." I wake up in the most excruciating pain because I was going through whatever. And they said to me, "Oh, do you know the doctor saved you and Amir?" And I'm like, "What?" They were like, "Both of you guys flatlined, not once, not twice." I'll get the because I told Sister Tina that I will give you guys the details on my story. I will get my paperwork from the hospital. But I remember that prayer that I said to God, "Please let him live." So guess what? I wasn't specific in my prayer. I just asked God to let my son live. I didn't say, "Please let my son live without any disabilities." Please, I asked him to let him live. And guess what? When I got to the hospital, they said Amir had 24 hours to live. Amir is 7 years old now.
Mm.
When I got to the hospital, they told me he was the first baby in that place that had ever went through a kidney. What you call it when they put the thing to make the blood go through your kidney? dialysis.
Dialysis.
They said this is the youngest child we've ever done dialysis on. Amir survived that. They said he might not survive it. He survived it. Then when they went to take his oxygen off, they said to me, he's not going to survive not having oxygen. They took the oxygen off. Guess who's still here 7 years later? So yes, amen. That's all I got to say.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I just wanted to
You
thank
believe
everybody that's in here. Thank you ladies up here on the panel for your time. Again, 3 hours is a lot of time. Y'all could have been taking a nap, watching a movie, eating good like Freddie G. Like, let me tell you.
I just want to make one more point before we end the live. Doctor says Shawnee wouldn't do certain things that Shawnee is doing.
Mm.
So everyone who does believe and pray because we believe in miracles and Shawnee can still come back to who she was before. I mean, we believe that. So she's already showing improvement. So God is already working.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
He's
So
showing improvement by look at what she want to do to help other
yeah,
people.
doing things that they said she wouldn't do.
Aww. Oh, can I just read this from Miss Mel? She said, "Hey, sweet Martina, Shawnee, and her mom." She said, "I've been watching from the beginning. I appreciate your courage and I admire your strength. May God bless you. I love you. I love you so much, Miss Mel. Thank you for that message." And Angel Gibson, who is an angel, she sent.
Yes.
Angel said she wished that she could have sent you more, Shawnee. Angel is such an amazing person, I tell you. Thank you, Angel, for blessing Shawnee in the Cash App. And I want to say, Angel said that you are a true miracle.
And thank anyone else that left Shawnee in the Cash App too. I can't see
Yes.
comments or anything, so
Yes. And guys, be specific in your prayers. Miss Witt, let me tell you, I always say
oh
that I was never specific in my prayers. We have to be specific. I said, God, please don't let my son die. I didn't say, God, please don't let him be without ailments or whatever. My son lost 80% of his brain. My son is blind. My son cannot do anything. He can't even sit up. But guess what? God did answer my prayer. He didn't let my son die.
yeah.
I believe in God. Period.
Me too.
Period. Yep.
Me too.
Okay. I'm sorry, ladies. I could keep talking to you. So let me stop. Thank you. And this entire time I just keep calling you mom. Do you mind sharing your name with me? Beautiful.
Tamara.
Thank you so much, beautiful sister Laura.
Tamara.
Tamara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, Shawnee. Thank you,
Thank
Sister
you.
Tina.
Oh,
Thank you to everybody in the live right now.
yeah, thank you everybody in the chat.
Yes.
Comment,
Yes.
supporting.
Thank you.
Okay. Again, before we go, if you guys would like to send some any type of support, you can leave it in the comments below. Like, let's say if somebody happens to have a way to get this beautiful young lady a scholarship to school for disabled people, you can message me, or you could even email her. I could leave the email in the comments for you guys, because there might be somebody that watches this. If you want, you
Yeah.
could say it out loud right now, so that if somebody's watching and listening and they can help, they will. And if you want to support financially, you can with the Cash App right there, Shawnee M. Davis. And it's a photo of her.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to share your email, just in case somebody wants to reach out and tell you, hey, I sponsor people, or I can do this, or I can do that, there might be somebody. We don't know. Shoot, hell, I had no clue that there was a therapist watching me, and she sponsored me, and she helped me so much in my life. Had I not responded to her, I would have never experienced how wonderful it is to have therapy.
You never
So,
know who's watching.
never know who's watching.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what town is she in? Sister teacher, I don't know if she wants to, like, she's
You mean time zone? What time
time,
zone is that?
she's in California area, LA area. I don't know.
It's 6:41 here.
It's 6:41 where she's at. 6 p.m. So going on 7. All right, y'all. I would love for her to get some rest and just relax, and if you want, you could type in the chat after, like I said, and I'll pin it. You could put like whatever information you want to give the people. If you have a PO box, anything like that, and I will pin it. And we'll talk later again, and then you could show the people how you've been doing in school. We could do like an update and stuff if you're into.
Okay, so
Okay.
sounds good. Yeah.
All right. God bless you. I'm so grateful for you. And Tina, without you, this would have never happened. And I want to tell you, I'm beyond thankful and I love you dearly.
Thank you. I love you
Okay.
too.
All right, y'all. Chat. It's a wrap. We'll talk soon. Maybe
Okay.
movie night. Babe, maybe Shawnee and you and your mom could come join me for a movie night. We'll have a good time. Like I watch movies on the screen and we could just like enjoy each other's company and stuff. So maybe we could build together and then, this
and
could
then
be
sis,
like,
the testimony Tuesdays, you want to start doing that on a regular, right?
Yeah. Next testimony will be you if you are okay with it. I want
I'm
people
open.
to know you guys could beat anything that you're going through. You might think you're about to come on now. Don't give up. I get it. You might think it's your time. No, it's not your time. She's a
Don't give
survivor.
up.
She'll tell her story one day. Hopefully it'll be with me and then we can go on. But yeah, guys, I will see you on the next live. Thank you again. I suggest whenever you guys get a chance to read the comments, go back and rewatch this live. And you'll see the beautiful messages that all these wonderful people in my chat are sending you of support and love. God bless Shawnee for sure. Yes, God bless her. I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted. I have ADD, guys. So let me stop looking at the screen. We're going to end this live. Peace. Love you. And